Episode 55. Welcome back to the Quick Hands Rugby League podcast. This is the pod that tells it like it is. Rugby league from all the wrong angles. Welcome, boys.
How you going? How are you, Gordon?
We're off already.
Also, welcome to the club, Nick. You joined our club this week.
Which club was that?
The club where we don't get to watch a team play in the finals.
Oh, that's, yeah.
So, welcome to our club. Me and George haven't been.
No, we got them covered.
We haven't seen them for
You guys
a
are
while.
forgetting I grew up with a lifetime membership to that club.
You've been out of that club for a while. And so
I have.
It's good to have you back, mate.
I have.
Welcome.
It's not good to be back.
Welcome. Well, I'm used to it.
George is the president now. He's been for so long.
Hey, you know what? Why I'm the president? Because I can see a long stretch of it as well.
But technically, my club was the first team that didn't make the semis because I already knew before the last round.
Yeah.
We were officially, because we didn't play.
Me and George knew from round 10.
We
We didn't even have the last round.
At least.
The pleasure of the last round
At
pressure.
least.
Boys, can you believe the regular season's over,
Yes.
man? It's done and dusted.
Done and dusted.
Wow, it's just like, it's gone so quick.
It's the season's in the can.
It's in the can.
Wait, George, where's the season?
It's in the can.
It's in the
Nicola.
can.
It's in the can.
There you go.
And you know what? I'm excited, but I'm also got that little bit of depression setting in.
Yeah.
as well.
It's
1 month to go.
1 month
four more.
ago.
It's only 4 games now, and
1
then
month to go.
after this week, only 2
Yeah.
a week.
Don't say that. Don't say that.
But it's so exciting, isn't it, the semis?
Oh,
It is.
September, man.
I love September.
September. It's the best
Gets
month
to
of footy. It
Gets to
Yeah.
be warm. Weather's beautiful.
was already nice and
Footy's
warm
rugby
today.
league. Rugby league's fantastic.
This is better than Origin series, man. I'll tell you. Finals games,
Yes.
shit all over the Origin series. The intensity, everything. It's just so
For
much
me, the origin is
better.
gone.
Yeah.
It's gone. But that's another topic.
But
another day.
this is the
That's
good
next
stuff.
thing.
This is where we get to
This
the
is
good stuff.
Yeah,
the best
definitely,
footy.
definitely.
the good stuff.
Let's have a look at what the top 8 looks like. So the Panthers finished first, minor premiers.
Mm-hmm.
No surprise there. Broncos second, Storm third, and the Warriors rounded out the top 4. What a wonderful story, the Warriors finishing top 4.
Absolutely. That's fantastic. Is that the second or third year in a row Penrith got minor premier?
I think it's the second.
Second?
Yeah.
Okay. That's a great effort from them.
Fifth was the Newcastle Knights, which no one would have seen
saw
2
that.
months
It's
ago.
another good effort too.
Yeah, Sharks.
And the coach was on the pipe, or was on the outer.
he was
literally
one
going to
game away
get
from
sacked
getting sacked. Yeah.
halfway through the year. Anyway.
Sixth were the Sharks, seventh the Roosters, and eighth the Raiders.
Yep. That's fantastic. And I think I read somewhere that this is the best finish the Knights have had for a long time. Fifth on.
Well, haven't they won like 9 in a row or something?
Yeah, and that's another one since 2006 or something. They haven't done that, so another great record. So Knights, whoa, what a run! They've had the momentum. They've got the best momentum coming in, haven't they?
Yeah. Also worth noting, 3 of last year's 4 preliminary finalists didn't make the 8.
Yeah, exactly.
Para, South, and the Cowboys.
Wow.
How
Pretty
things have
sad,
changed.
isn't it?
How things
Yeah.
have changed, don't they? How things have
We're
changed.
talking about the final 4.
Mm,
You know.
And they just missed out. I think they finished 9th, 10th, and 11th.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
And by 2 points. It's by 2 points in the
Yeah.
end. They didn't make the 8.
Look,
So.
Well, you know what they say, Artie, close only counts in horseshoes and hand grenades.
Exactly. Exactly.
You know what, the South Sydney thing is probably the biggest capitulation.
Capitulation. Yeah, we'll
that
get
I've
to
ever
that.
seen. Yeah.
We'll get to that. There's a few, when we hit controversy corner, there's a few points this week.
But it also goes to show, though, how it's important how you start the season, because the Cowboys and the Eels had really poor starts.
Yeah.
And in the end, it just bit them in the ass because, so, yeah.
Yeah, Para had something like 8 or 9 losses under 10 points, and they all just one of those would have made a difference.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
So that's the nature of the game.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's the nature of the game. So why don't we kick off with old mate Ricky Stewart?
Oh,
Ricky Stewart strikes
what's
again.
Rick done now?
So
What's
the Raiders,
Rick done now?
they finished 8th. I think they dropped like 5 or 6 out of their last 7 or 8 games. Is that right?
They won 2 out of 8.
Okay, there you go.
2 out of 8.
And
Wow.
when he had his press conference, he has this thing that he always does where he tries to make it us against the world.
Well, it does.
You know, like when a reporter asks him something, well, what do you think, mate? You know? And so in the press conference, he uses the same, kind of deflective tactics that he thinks no one can see, but everyone can see straight through him. So when the journo asked him, you're happy about making the semis. He said, and I quote, "I don't know if anyone knows we're in the finals. We weren't meant to be." I'm so proud of these blokes. They've exceeded everyone's expectations. Yeah. And I'm like, well, you were sitting fourth a month ago. Yeah. Why does he have to do that? Why can't he just say, "Yeah, I'm glad we're in"?
He's a stranger guy.
Yeah, if you look at the early team predictions from a lot of the journalists and that, I think a lot of them did have Raiders to be in the top 8 from memory. So
they were in the top 8 last year.
Yeah, they were in the top 8 last year. So I don't know why.
I don't know why he does that. He goes, "I'm so proud of these." Like he's always he's doing that deflective thing where it's us against the world. You know, what are you proud of? Winning 2 games out of your last 10.
Yeah, look, it's also a tactic to give some motivation to his players. Maybe he probably uses that when he goes into the dressing shed. So it's just something for Ricky to do.
Can I suggest something? With minus 137, winning 2 out of their last 8 games, they're a very lucky rugby league team to be even in the 8. You know what I mean? I would prefer to see Eels, you know what I mean, or even the Seagulls in the 8. I'd give a better showing than what these guys are going to do. But you know what? As we know, the rugby, their team reflects their coach, and
Well, Ricky, he's been coaching 21 years, right? And
is it really that long?
2002.
Wow.
He won the premiership in his first season at the Roosters, and let's be honest, on a team that Graham Murray built. Yep. Worth noting that grand final win against the Warriors. That was the year the Bulldogs were ousted.
That's right.
They were leading the comp, but obviously they were cheating the cap. But you know what? It's been crickets ever since.
Yeah. Well, they got to the grand final against the Roosters.
Yeah, but I think back then, 2003, 4, I think he lost a couple of grand finals.
But the latest one was a few years ago.
2019,
which was a pretty controversial one too. Remember?
Yeah,
very unlucky.
Yes, a couple of
They played really well that game against the Roosters.
Against the Roosters,
that was a great game.
Well. Yeah.
But what really made me laugh was, and anyone who watches the Ricky Stewart press conference would know, whenever there's something he's unhappy about and the journalists ask him about it, his first reaction is, "Well, what do you think, mate?"
Is that what he said this time?
No, but I'm going to get to that point in a moment. So he's always, whenever he's complaining about something, he's always like, "Well, everyone saw it." He goes, "The referee saw it. Everyone saw it. Why, bubble, whatever." This time he was asked about Sebastian Chris being sent off for a speed tackle.
A speed tackle,
and it was the classic coach's response: "I didn't see it. I have to have another look at it." So, and this is not a dig at Ricky, because every coach does it, and it really irritates me. Right?
That's standard.
Whenever something happens against their team, well, everyone saw what happened. What were the referees looking at? Whenever it's one of their players who do something wrong, I didn't get to see it because they haven't got 14 screens in the coach's box with replays, right? I have to take another look at it. They all do it, by the way.
Yeah,
they all do it.
Yeah, Rick, I can tell you, it was a classic speed tackle, mate. It was a 1988 speed tackle, brother, or 1972 speed tackle.
It's not something you can argue about.
Yeah.
Not that one.
No.
One thing I don't understand about this, what Ricky's done the last few weeks, how come he's dropped White in the centre and not played him at 5'8"? Was there a reason behind that? Did he make any...
Probably the losses. He's probably trying something.
Yeah? They won a lot of games with White in there, so that's bizarre.
White hasn't been setting the world on fire, but has he?
No,
he hasn't. But why would they put him in the centres? I don't know. It's just...
Maybe he's getting ready for South.
I don't know, mate. That was bizarre. It was a bizarre move.
He's got Frawley, and me personally, I'd want Jack to have the ball in his hands.
Yeah, exactly.
As much as possible. So I'd have him at 6. But look, if he's going to get, he thinks he's going to get something out of Frawley and Fogarty, good luck to him. Guess what? I don't think it's working. I think Jack's looking pretty tired and thinking about barley or thinking about a rabbit. So I don't know, but I don't know why he's doing it. I've got no idea why he's doing it. But guess what? It's proven wrong so far, and he could shock us on Sunday.
They're going to Newcastle, aren't they? We'll preview the games after, but that'll be a tough task.
It will be.
Actually, it was, Ricky Stewart said a couple of nice things in the press conference when he was asked about that. I said, how do you feel about travelling up to Newcastle? And he said, well, they belted us a few weeks ago. He said, and props to Newcastle and the coach, because the coach was on the verge of getting the sack, and they've done really well, and they're a passionate club. And it was nice to hear some complimentary comments,
What's he going to say? We're going to go and build them, give them more fuel?
Who knows? Who knows? But turmoil at Redfern, boys.
Oh.
Wow.
I'm sorry, but this is the part where I say I told you so. I've waited all year for this.
Well, wait a minute. If he gets them out of it and does well next year, it's
Dude, they didn't even make the 8. Come on.
Yeah, no.
Right?
No,
This was now I don't know it's worse than what I suspected. I mean, I never thought they wouldn't make the 8. But to me, the coach has lost the dressing room. There's so much. It's almost Bulldogs like what's going on there. There's so much.
Oh no, it can't be like Bulldogs.
Do you think?
It's not Bulldogs
Well,
like.
I mean, with all the Latrel and Cody special treatment, other players get. I mean, and of course everyone denies it. But what's happening there?
Well, Cameron Murray just re-signed for 4 years, so
Yeah, it's a smart move on his part.
He's a pretty special player, and I don't know, man. I think maybe they were halfway through the season. They were in the.
Artie, it's the worst capitulation in the history of the
It's a
NRL.
bad capitulation, but
The halfback misfired. He's had a horrible season.
he's under a lot of pressure now.
He's had a horrible
Is that
season.
Lachlan, the Greek future.
He's had a
immortal?
horrible season. There's talk about White partnering Cody in the halves next year. So I don't know. I don't know what they're thinking.
Okay. So, you know what, they showed enough. I know they lost, but I saw enough passion in that game last Friday against the Roosters to tell me that the problems are not as deep as we think it is.
Yeah.
Now, what the truth is, we don't know. I mean, you know, they got rid of Sam. Was it Sam? Maybe partially. Was it Dimitri?
That was a week
Maybe
earlier.
partially.
That was a week earlier.
Yeah, but that's something. These are issues that have been brewing for months.
Yeah.
It's not. It happened today, and you got
No, that's
sorted
true.
tomorrow.
That's true.
So is it a little bit Dimitri not holding the troops together? Absolutely. You know what I mean? I hope he learned from it. I sincerely hope he learned from it, and we move on. You know what? It hurt. I saw the presses. It hurts them. It hurts them more. So I hope they learn, because on paper they should be in the grand final or top 2.
Yeah.
They've been in 4 or 5 prelims in a row.
Yeah. So
I think they've missed Cody Latrell a lot too. He's missed a lot of games. Come on.
You know what?
But they weren't performing when he was there, Artie. Look at the last
it's true.
month.
It's true.
And I'm not bunny
You know
bashing. My simple point that I was trying to make earlier in the season was that I don't see what everyone's raving on about with Demetrio as a coach, and I still don't. And now we've seen far worse than what any of us expected.
First of all, you know what? How old's Latrell now?
28, 29,
Okay.
something like that.
Oh, well.
So I'm not sure.
Let's say he's 26,
27,
27.
something
Okay.
like that.
You know what? When he was a young man, he could have a month off, come back one game, and just light it up. Guess what? Now, like he's like a normal NRL player or any normal football player, he needs a few weeks to get back. So in terms of them and their play on the field, now what was going on behind closed doors, I don't know. We don't know. And I'm just trying to find. He's 26, ain't he?
But I'm going to call you out on that because I'm tired of people making excuses for him.
I'm not.
Right? Because
not.
I think he puts it on himself. Right?
Latrell. Oh yeah, no.
He comes back. He comes back after a layoff against the team coming last, the Tigers. He has a good game because let's face it, who doesn't against the Tigers?
Yeah.
And he's showboating and doing all these bullshit. And then in the next few weeks, he's having shocker after shocker after shocker. Why put pressure on yourself for? Why can't the coach pull his head in and say, "Listen, don't worry about the showboating. Just focus on playing."
Yeah.
It's Latrell.
Look,
Maybe he's not as good as we all thought he was. Maybe he's a better
True.
centre than he is a fullback because he hasn't. He hasn't really done anything as a fullback.
You know what? So, I'll tell you something really funny. Someone today asked me, "Would you prefer Latrell or Reece?" Okay,
Reece Walsh.
Reece Walsh. Okay,
I'll take Walsh in a heartbeat.
yeah, and you probably take Reece Walsh. Why did I say Latrell?
I don't know.
Isn't it fun?
Maybe you want to invite trouble into your locker room.
Maybe, but you know what? At Latrell's best, not only is he a game winner, it's more than that.
Yeah.
Okay,
And Latrell's best is probably the best player in the comp, but we're not seeing it.
no, I know. So you know what?
So who takes the blame for
Yeah,
that?
well,
Is it the player or
Dimitri.
the coach?
No, Dimitri.
Or both?
No,
Latrell's got
No.
to take some of that onus too. He's the player.
yeah, but Dimitri, because when Supercoach had him, he had him at his best. more times than not.
When you're having that kind of game that he had a few weeks ago against the Tigers, when you're doing that
He didn't even play.
when you're
good
doing that against the big teams, mate, go for it. Showboat, do whatever you want. You know, like do what you're playing up to the crowd. That's fine. Do all that stuff. You know, but when you're not playing well, it's not a good look.
Yeah,
and it doesn't help you.
yeah. You know what? I really sincerely hope that they sorted the backroom stuff out. I really hope they did. Now, taking that on one side, Dimitri is in massive pressure.
Yeah.
He is.
Coming up.
Yeah, for sure.
He really is.
The good thing or the bad thing or the good thing is that their Reggie's team are in the grand final. Okay, and there's a young halfback there, absolutely carving it up.
Yeah.
And they told Dimitri to drop Lucky to put the youngster in, but he didn't do it. He's stubborn, he didn't do it. Okay, and that particular team pushing through. Well, they got a stacked team anyway, but apparently Mamazulis has had 3 man of the match performances in the last 3 weeks.
Well, he was cut from the squad last week.
That team is stacked. Oh, he's not going to take. He's not going to get Cookie's job.
Can I give you an example of what I'm talking about? Everyone knows how much of a Jerome Luai fan I am, right? Jokes aside, we saw him get dropped from the Origin. Now, for a guy with an ego that size, who acts like a dickhead week in, week out, that's a huge blow to the ego.
Absolutely, it was.
Did we all see what he did in the 4 or 5 weeks after that?
Respond.
Mate, he played awesome. He kept his head down, no bullshit. No, that's what Latrell needs to do.
Yeah.
That's the point that I'm trying to make. Luai, he cut probably because Cleary told him.
Well, yeah.
Cut the shit out of your game.
Ivan's a big
Focus
thing.
on playing, and he played really, really well. And was playing well enough that if there was an Origin a month later, he would have been the first one picked.
And it comes back to what you said in terms of, controlling your players. I mean, you know it and I know it. Ivan, there's a lot of Ivan there. Dimitri couldn't do it. He couldn't keep the superstars because they're star-studded. Souths is star-studded. Make no mistake.
With a roster like that, come on.
If you look at player by player, they're probably on paper better than Penrith. Player by player.
Well, I had him to win the comp.
Me too. Okay, so obviously Dimitri, 50 games in, it's failed.
Look, he's got a big test in front of him. It's a great opportunity to turn it around, but he will start the season under a lot of pressure.
Massive pressure.
Could it be a case that when you look at South, they didn't bring any new players in, so he's kept the same squad. So he didn't change anything, and teams just worked him out.
That was I was really surprised.
Could you look at that? That could be something.
I was really surprised this time last year when I was looking at the signings tracker and I saw South sign no one. It's rare that you see a team sign no one, but he actually stated, and I only saw this the other day, reading up about that. At the time, he stated, "I've got the squad that I need to go one better this year." Obviously, that wasn't the case, and look, they had a lot of distractions through the year with. Campbell Graham never came back the same after his injury. He was the former player of the comp. Latrell, you don't know what you're going to get with that guy. But anyway, he's got a big job ahead of him.
But that's the key. Like it or not, Latrell affects the whole team. And you know what? See, players can affect the whole team.
Exactly.
But it's mostly a positive. So when you get a Wally Lewis in the team, like he affects all the team, but if he's out of the team, the effect isn't that much. But Latrell either can lift the whole team up or drop the whole team down. Him being on the field or not. So
Cameron Smith had the same effect at Melbourne when he didn't play. Not that he didn't miss many games. Very rarely didn't play.
Yes.
Like only without Smith they can lose 40-0 to Manly in the grand final. With Cameron Smith on the field is a different kettle of fish. So.
Yes, but that's purely skill. With Latrell, it's attitude. So if they see lots of high intensity and energy from a Latrell, they've all got it.
Yeah,
they've
true.
all got it.
Let's not forget, he missed that game because of a stupid thing that he did the week before.
Exactly.
A dumb brain snap, useless, unneeded elbow, which just didn't need to happen.
You know what? We can all agree that it was a big failure this year. They're hurting because I don't know the whole team, but I saw JD and he's hurting. So you're right. Next year is the year. nothing more than a victory would suffice. I'm pretty sure. That's what the way they see it.
Do you think maybe Robbo, because Robbo had Latrell first, right? Do you think Robbo maybe knew he wouldn't win a comp with Latrell, got rid of him?
We won a comp.
He won 2 comps.
With Latrell.
Latrell.
In the sense,
but maybe could see that something. I'd rather a more steady fullback. And that's why he.
Well, he didn't play fullback at the Roosters. He was a centre.
Oh, he was a centre.
Right,
but
probably is a centre,
But Robbo really didn't seem bothered at letting him go.
Exactly.
But having said that, Latrell joining South Sydney is kind of something that you can't stand in the way of anyway. It's like, I'm not going to try and change his mind. Yeah, let him go. So I don't know whether Robbo. I don't know, but he didn't seem too bothered about letting him go.
Because Roosters don't usually let go of star players. You know what I mean?
I think that Robbo is like the bullfrog. The ones they want, they keep. Kept. So he saw enough from Latrell to understand, what he wanted exactly. But there's still that doesn't make Latrell a liability. All the wrong play. You just got to have the right coach to control him.
That's it.
It's just like if I was his coach, it'd just be a case of pull your head in.
You can't talk to him like that.
I am going to talk to him like that because I'm the coach. Or you know what? You can go and play Reggie's, right? Pull your head in, cut out the crap, put your teammates first, and let's see some focused effort. That's all I want.
If the conversation between Sam and Latrell is true or half true, and how it all sparked off, okay, about Sam saying that you're carrying a few kegs over, you know what I mean, and Latrell saying, well, I've got 2 rings, whatever. If that's the thing, what really kicked off this war, whatever, you got to control Latrell.
But you know what I would have said if I was Sam Burgess? Yeah, but you don't have a ring at South, mate, and I do.
Well, he has,
right? Yeah. And the other thing is, again, that to me shows deficiency with the coach.
Yeah,
the fact that Sam Burgess has to have that conversation with Latrell means the coach didn't.
Yeah, no, it's Dimitri. It falls on Dimitri. It doesn't fall on anyone else. Mind you, I'll say it again. If we're super coach, okay, he would know exactly what's coming out of Sam's mouth.
Yeah.
Well, Dimitri didn't, and he was running it. He was running. Well, he's trying to be. Apparently, he's trying to be like super coach, hands off.
Well, that's who he learned from.
Okay.
And let's be honest, it's still his. What was it? His second season.
When coaching, yeah.
So I mean,
50 games in.
He's learned a valuable lesson. I'm not saying he's not going to be a good coach. My whole point that I made was I don't think he's at the level that everyone's putting him at this year.
Not yet.
Right? I'm not saying he won't become a better coach.
Not yet.
Just the way everyone was raving on about him, I didn't see it. That's just me. But
he'll learn from this year.
He will. Well,
he's got the
look. Anyone who works with Wayne Bennett, who Wayne Bennett rates, they've got to be good.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Wayne Bennett rated Steve Price. Anyway, let's go on. And Ivan Henjak, and where have they gone? Anyway.
Oh no! Did he?
I don't want to bulldog bash, but we've got to touch on a couple of things.
No, bulldog bash, please. I'll bash. I'll bash more than all of you.
One thing that raised a few eyebrows after Canterbury came close, going down by 4 points in their last game.
There's actually some good tries in that game.
Yeah, it was 34-30. Some eyebrows were raised when Serraldo said he was happy with the team's defence and happy how the defence has improved this year. It's gone backwards.
Yeah, real good, yeah.
So I don't know what is... Yeah.
That's what I know about Serraldo.
I think maybe he was trying to make a point, didn't come out the right way, maybe. At least that's what I'm hoping. I think so. But the real talk is the whole James Graham, Andrew Davey scenario. So you guys want to elaborate a little bit on that with... James Graham coming out and bashing Andrew Davey?
Yeah, well, James Graham was on last night on NRL 360, and it was him versus Buzz, because Buzz wrote an article about it, because he reckons that Graham was a bit harsh. Graham basically said that Davey expected to be first grade, but then because he saw this young Preston guy take his spot, he sulked and wanted to get out of there, so he sort of threw it on the player. He blamed the player. And then... What's his name? Buzz got on yesterday, and he thought it was a bit harsh what Graham said, because Phil Rothfield, he didn't approach Phil Rothfield. Rothfield approached him, and he was just giving him a version. Like, he wasn't being bashing there. He was just giving him his version of events at the Bulldog camp, because Buzz also said that there's a few other players that he approached, but there's some of them that are scared to say anything because of Gus, and there's all these other allegations. and it's just gone on from there. And then it's funny because after I watched the bashing there of the rivalry, the thing there between Graham versus Buzz, I then saw 100% footy, and they raised the item with Gus, and he just thinks, the media's just out there to get me. It's an agenda-driven
Gus
thing.
is an idiot.
But, this Davey thing, it was a bit harsh, wasn't it, for Graham to have a go at this guy?
I saw the comments on Triple M. That's where he made the statement first. It was on Saturday.
Yeah, it was on
Triple
Saturday,
M.
on Triple M.
And he said, he goes, Andrew Davey came there expecting to play first grade. Then he got pissed off because a 21-year-old upstaged him.
Yeah.
And then he kicked his toys out of the room and pissed off to Parramatta, right?
Yeah.
And no doubt about the 21-year-old upstaging him. The 21-year-old is Jacob Preston. He's had a standout season.
He's had a great season.
And props to him. He's a great find for the Bulldogs. But I think adding a little bit of context, Andrew Davey, he's a fringe first grader.
Yeah.
He debuted at 28 for Para. He went to Manly, went to the Bulldogs. He's back at Para. I don't think he's ever expected a starting spot anywhere he's been. He's just not that good of a player.
Yeah.
When he was asked about his opinion, he just said what he felt. And here's the thing, like, if he was the only one who said it, then maybe you could call it sour grapes. But we all know there's an issue at that club amongst the playing group. And all he said was, I didn't fit into the culture there. It just didn't click with me, right? I suppose the most damning thing he said was that after I had made the decision to leave, the coach stopped talking to me for the last 3 weeks. He didn't speak to me. Yeah. So,
did Buzz say that others spoke?
Yes, but they'll remain nameless. So,
what did they say, Buzz?
He spoke to 7 or 8 players who don't want to be named because, and he stated clearly, they're afraid of Phil Gould. Yeah. So they don't, and they all said that a lot of them said they're unhappy. Here's the thing. 5 or 6 players categorically stated they're unhappy with the way things are.
Okay.
And the way the coach is training and his methods and all that. James Graham's side of the argument was, but that's the 5 or 6 players who aren't going to be there next year.
But we can try again. We can turn another 20 over.
No, well, I mean, and maybe there's some truth to that as well. Maybe it's sour grapes on the way out type of thing.
Yeah.
But we all know there's issues there. Like, you can't get the shit back into the horse. With what's come out the last few weeks, Phil Gould can say the media's out to get me and all that. At the end of the day, Phil Gould, you're a moron because everyone can see what's going on. So the best thing you guys can do is just fix it.
You know what? When we hear stories like this, so they've come to a crescendo basically because we get them on the back end, the stories, because they've been brewing. So it's obvious. It's obvious that, after the first few rounds where they looked half decent, it's all gone to shit, as we say. Okay, so let's get real. Okay, Gus's methods are prehistoric. The Serrano came with a big reputation. He's not that person that we think he was. Because again, what has he done? Okay, he's lost the dressing room. Obviously, when you're talking 5, 6 players, he's lost the dressing room.
Well, it's more than
so
that.
we can get rid of them, but who says he doesn't lose the new ones coming in? Maybe you don't lose Reid Marnie. Maybe you don't lose his players that come from Penrith. Well, we're going to get all Penrith over.
Yeah.
I don't know. When's it going to stop? So this is a vicious circle. This is not going to get any better at all, Nicola. Not getting any better at all. Where there's smoke, there is fire. And let me tell you, this club, this management is under massive pressure next year. And I suggest to you, nothing's going to change.
Yeah.
You know what's funny too? Remember we saw the video footage a few weeks ago where the guys weren't chasing the kick? They were high-profile players. They weren't fringe guys. They were Reid Marnie. These are the guys that are coming out and defending Serraldo.
Yeah.
But they were the one bludgeoning that footage.
Yeah.
So we're assuming that these guys that aren't happy there are the guys that are fringe. Well, you had 5 first grade of your best not chasing a ball.
Look at, and I know he's missed
strange.
a lot of footy this year, but even going back to Sunday, look at Kikau's defence.
Yeah. It's dropped off.
It's been horrible.
Yeah. And what was that thing about Fatala
He's been
Mariner?
a revolving door. Did you see Foran cut through him?
Yeah. Well, what did he say about Fatala Mariner as well? Wasn't there?
So Raymond Fatala Mariner. So Buzz Rothfield said last night on 360 that he's the club captain, right? Or one of.
No,
he's the club captain.
He's
the club captain. Yeah. Burton and Marnie are the co-captains. He's the club captain.
Yeah. Okay. Yep.
So when all this stuff started, I don't know, 7-8 weeks ago, a few of the players approached. Again, this is Buzz Rothfield. A few of the players approached Raymond for Taylor Mariner and said, "We got some concerns, you know." And as the club captain, he said, "I'll go and speak to the coach." So he did. Apparently, he did it in private. He went and spoke to Cameron Serraldo. He said, "Look, a few of the boys have got some concerns, blah, blah, blah." We don't know what came out of that, but what we do know is that we haven't seen that player since.
Just tells you the story.
There was something about the Polynesian too, the footy player.
Yeah.
There was something to do with that
We haven't seen for Taylor Mariner since then.
So
God forbid the club captain approaches the coach with a concern.
Yeah, so it just shows you. It just shows you what's happening there, mate. It just shows you the character of the two men running the club. It's not gonna end. It's not gonna be pretty.
Yeah. Anyway, let's move on. But we'll see. I mean, we haven't. Obviously, it's what day is it? It's Tuesday.
Tuesday.
We haven't seen tonight's episode of 360 because we're sitting in here doing this. So who knows what comes out of that?
Who knows what Buzz has found out?
Boys, we've got the semi-finals this week, and we've got clubs that have got home semi-finals, and the Cronulla Sharks have been denied that opportunity.
Denied. Cronulla Sharks.
Well, they're not. They can't play any semi-finals at Shark Park, right?
Yes, they can.
They can.
I thought they couldn't.
No, they can.
They're playing at Shark Park.
They're playing at Shark Park.
The issue is,
What did I get wrong then?
No, the issue is that they can only fit 12,000 people.
They can only fit 12,000.
Yeah.
in the ground. Now, obviously,
I thought they made them move it.
No. So the RP whatever has given the teams their choice of wherever they want to play.
My bad.
The first 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Now, we all thought they were going to move it to Homebush.
Okay.
But they didn't end up doing that. But it's ludicrous. For number one, you're denying at least 15,000 Shark supporters of seeing your team, at least. Okay.
Yeah.
Now you know what? Why they did it is because the money goes to the NRL of the crowd. It doesn't go to so semi-finals goes all to the NRL. So they don't care. Now, if it was their gate, they'll be going to the SFS, SCG. They'll be going anywhere.
I had it wrong. I thought it was the other way around. I thought
No.
Me personally, I would play it at Shark Park.
Yeah.
Because you know what? At the end of the day,
they earn the right.
You want to play at home. You want to pack it in.
Yeah, I agree.
And if 15,000 miss out, unlucky. 15,000 miss out. But we need to take every advantage we can. And there's no advantage going to Homebush.
No. Well, we call it the prison for I call it the prison for a reason, and we call it the prison for a reason.
Was it last year, the year before? There was a season where they were forced to move.
They had to.
That's what I thought happened.
They had to take everything. So a couple of seasons ago, the top four had the right to host their finals at their place. The bottom four had to be centralised. Okay. So when they dropped down. The top four, the losers, they could take them to their home ground, but the bottom four had to centralise it, like Bank West or whatever, the SFS or whatever. So, but they changed that and they gave the right for the first week wherever they want to play. Wherever they want.
For me, I mean, if you flip the script and you're talking about the West Tigers, and they're in a semi-final. Wouldn't they want to play it at Leichhardt Oval rather than go somewhere else? And I know you could fit twice as many people in somewhere else, but where are you going to get the best advantage from?
Yeah,
that's how I see it anyway.
Well, I don't disagree. The argument is that there's going to be their people, their supporters, or their people not having the.
They can watch it on TV.
They can watch it on TV. They can put some live sites in the mall there at Caringbah or whatever, or Cronulla, and they can watch and then go for a swim if they want. So, look, I'll do the same thing. I'll have it at the prison as well.
And tell me, George, what's this talk about NRL trying to talk about referees?
NRL and their antiquated thoughts. Next year, they want to ban any talk, negative or positive, I assume, referees. Can't talk about it. You get fined. Just can't say nothing about referees.
That's ridiculous.
When you come and say, there was a decision there, can't talk
Guess
about
what?
referees.
If the referees do the job, there won't be. No one will be talking.
Yeah,
about
but that's ridiculous. You can't just this is the biggest controversial part of our game. Just everyone just shut up. We're going to muzzle everyone.
I've got a different scenario. Not only you can talk about them, not you can be free and not get fined, but get the referees after the game on that podium
to do a presser.
to talk about why they did what.
Yeah.
Put real pressure on them.
Yeah.
You know, because the irony is this, is that they're well-paid professionals who train full-time to do our job. Okay? Now, players get criticised. Coaches get criticised when they're not performing, and they get praised when they are performing. And I've praised referees. Have I praised referees?
I just thought. I just thought of something that might be. I just thought of something that could be an ulterior motive.
What's that, mate?
In the last round, we saw Belinda Sharp and Casey Badger
Hey, Bell.
officiate a game, right?
Yeah.
And then I read an article, and they did a great job, right? And I read an article that next year they're going to look at start using the women to officiate more games. Is this a way of protecting the women? Let's muzzle everyone before we unleash the beast.
That's interesting.
Well, if
I just thought about it now.
if they do a better job than the men, which I thought they did a great job, then what doesn't matter who they are. You just
I'd say every time I've seen Belinda Sharp or
Belinda's
Casey
good.
Badger, you know,
Belinda's good.
They're
She's
really good.
Yeah, they're good.
Belinda's
So
good. I'm
whoever's there, male or
And
female,
I
if they
think
do a
I
great
don't
job,
care,
they're going to
yeah.
get
Didn't,
back.
hasn't Alan Harper retired now? Which the referee looks like the brother from 2.5 Men? What's his name?
the rivet on your game.
I think he's retired,
Oh,
isn't he?
No, what's his name?
What's his name again?
Oh, God.
Yeah, he's the longest serving referee, Nicola. He's done more games than our favourite referee,
Billy.
He's done more than Billy Harrigan. So look, he's had a long career. Has he ever done a grand final? I can't remember.
I don't know.
Yeah, I like that referee. He's never been in the spotlight. He's never made many blunders either. So there are referees that actually don't go in the spotlight like him. I don't know what his name was.
The
though.
best referee is the
back
one
to-
you can't remember.
Go back to the game.
The best referee is the one you can't remember from the game.
Yeah, exactly. And the fact that we can't remember this guy's name shows he's done
Shows
a
that
Shows he's good,
fantastic
yeah.
job.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
good on him. Ryan, here we go. Ben
Ben Cummins.
Ben Cummins, that's it. Yeah.
So
Ben
how many
Cummins.
times have we heard him?
I know.
His name get thrashed? No, never.
No, not Cummins.
Alan Harper.
Yeah,
He's actually in his 40s now, I think.
he's great
he?
referee. That's a shame that
He's
we're losing
good.
him.
Yeah,
Far out.
that's a big loss.
But good on him. Yeah, good on him. He got a nice send off apparently. At
Did he get a
St.
barbecue?
George. He got a barbecue.
Or if it was
Did,
at Leichhardt, he would.
We might have to start a new segment next year called Brooks Barbies.
Brooks barbecue. I like it. I like it.
Brooksy's Barbie.
I like it. I like it.
That's it.
And we'll grill someone, whoever's getting grilled that week.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
perfect.
That's a good one. That's a good one. Give me that one. I'll talk to that.
Whoever's getting roasted this week.
Brooks Barbies.
That's it. Brooks' Barbie.
I like it. I like it.
Now, did you guys see Penrith win the minor premiership?
Yes.
Was it Friday night?
Yes.
I did.
Did you see the presentation?
No, I didn't. But
Andrew
you told me
Abdo, our
about it.
fearless leader.
Oh, he's fantastic. He knows his football.
he's,
Knows his footy.
he
Knows
really.
his footy.
I wonder
Knows
if I'm going to get a lawsuit for this. He really made a fool out of himself.
Did he?
So when he was doing the presentation speech, he was talking up Penrith, and that's all great. And then he called out Dylan Edwards, the fullback, and he called him up for 193 assists this season.
Mate.
Here's the thing, right?
How?
Did you
Here's
see
the
the
thing.
score? It was 630 to 10.
Must have been.
Here's the thing. Now, whoever, because obviously he doesn't do it himself, whoever prepared the stats for him made a mistake, right? Typo, whatever you want to call it. But here's the thing that everyone's concerned about. Anyone who knows rugby league knows that the second you hear that statement, it's just wrong. Without even knowing the numbers. 193 assists.
It's impossible.
The fact that he didn't even realise that statement was so dumb shows you how little he knows about the game. And that's really bad. What's priceless, and I encourage you guys to YouTube it, was Dylan Edwards' reaction when he heard that. He's like, what?
funny.
Yeah,
So-
it was like, wow.
And that's this is the CEO of the NRL. Now again, I'm not cooking him for making a mistake. Obviously, someone gave him the data, but to actually say 193 assists and not realise, wait a second, that can't be right.
Can't be right.
It's just can't be.
Yeah.
He didn't even pick it up.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Uh,
Did he get everything else right?
I don't know. I was laughing. I didn't hear anything else after that. I was laughing too much, but good to know the game's in good hands.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
As long as they're making money, that's all they
that's
care
it.
about. That's
Now,
funny.
talk about Jerome Luluai Penrith have offered him an extension. Apparently, I don't know if they've officially offered it or not, but
well, I reckon they can only go up in the sevens.
700,000 something,
not more than 8.
which is a bit surprising. But considering all their salary cap situation, they've made a few re-signings of late.
Yeah.
He kind of put himself in that situation because he sacked his management.
Yeah.
And one of the rules for contract negotiations in the NRL is that if you split with your management group, you can't sign a contract for 3 months. Right? There's a cooling off period there. So, unfortunately for him, that 3 months was the signing frenzy at Penrith. So, is he going to take that much? Because he could get could he get $1 million somewhere else?
Well, think about it, right? If he gets just say 780,000 from Penrith, right, and he's got no agent, so he pays no commission. Some of these guys pay 10% commission or something.
Yeah.
It all goes straight to him. So he might.
But with that, he lost his third parties as well.
Yeah, true, mate. Yeah,
Did he?
Yeah.
You know, Gus will bring him to Belmore.
But can he get $1 million somewhere else? Is there a club that will pay
Gus
him?
will bring him to
Penguin
Belmore.
Junior's gone, and
Gus will bring him to Belmore.
Or George, will he stay at Penrith?
I think he'll stay at Penrith.
why would he want to go to Canterbury with all the stuff that's going on?
I mean, he wouldn't want to leave where he is under any circumstance, but he's in a situation now where his fullback, who doesn't play Origin, is getting $200K more than he is.
I'll be honest.
And by the way, I think he's worth every cent, Dylan Edwards. Jeez.
I would love to get Luai at St George because I was impressed with him at when he played in the World Cup. I think he's more impressive when he's away from Cleary than when Cleary is when he's away from Luai. I thought it was excellent. And having Luai and Ben Hunt together, I reckon it will work really well. And we have got money. But
that's
it
not
won't
next
happen.
year, it's the other year.
Oh, I thought it was next year.
No,
it won't work.
I've been one of his biggest critics because I just can't stand players. I don't like sledging. That's just me, right? You know, because when we played back in our day, if someone said something, you just fucking hit them. That's it. Now you can't do that. And that's why they've all got big mouths now. You know what I mean? Remember the old thing when we were growing up, you lose the match, you win the fight. That doesn't exist anymore.
No.
So I've always hated that part of it. But I've got to say, since he was humbled, because during the Origin, he was doing his usual crap, posting a photo, all you dickheads have got to go to work tomorrow.
Yeah.
Then he got dropped, and wow, the ego took a kick to the guts. But since then, I haven't seen that side of him. Just seen him put his head down, play really well, and surprised me. Yeah,
He responded.
very well. And it shows you how good he really is.
He is good.
So leave the crap out. You don't need it.
I hope he does. I hope he grows up. And that is the reason why I don't think he'll leave Penrith. Maybe they're promising third parties. I don't know, but I don't think he'll leave.
Maybe the Chooks.
He won't go anywhere.
Cleary's going to retire after anything. He's got another year to go, and then he can slide into Cleary's spot.
Who?
Luai.
Yeah.
There you go. Roosters might make a play. You never know.
No,
And
so.
do you want to tell us about the RLPA? They want to give some prize money. They want to change the prize money for the minor premiers.
They do. They want to give the minor premiers a $2 million
that's fantastic.
$2 million fee. But what they want to do is not give it directly to the club. They want to split it up amongst the top 20, top 30, top.
I reckon that's a great
top
idea.
30 players.
Yeah.
And their belief is that it will mean more to them. And how they rest half the teams now.
Yeah.
Well, if it's a minor premier battle, and you know what, the Penrith put most players in last week for a different reason, but that's their opinion. Oh, look, I like it. I think
it's a great idea.
I think we undervalue the minor premiership big time. In most countries around the world, first past the post is the winner.
Yeah.
Look, we're lucky enough to have a semi-final series, and I think America has as well. But we're lucky enough to have a semi-final series, and it's great. It's fantastic. But you know what? How many rounds is the season? 27 rounds. It's a long.
And that move
season.
incentivizes the players to want to get out there and play. Whereas if the money's going to the club, it's kind of like I might have the week off anyway. What do I need to?
So that's in discussions at the moment. But what's assured is the premiers but that's as the club gets $1 million for winning the premiership.
Yeah.
But that doesn't go obviously to the players; that goes to the club.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I hope they get that through because
Yeah, that'll be good.
Why don't they split it? $1 million to the club, $1 million to the players.
look, I'd like it. Look, more winning competitions and winning minor premiers. Look, give them whatever you want to give them. I'm a big
Just
fan.
don't forget, the club that wins the premiership, the premiership, their sponsors will go up the following season anyway. Their value goes up.
Yeah. So if you've ever seen a Penrith game now, if you just look around the ground, just their sponsorship, you see their jerseys, their sponsorship, and apparently every club has got a committee, chasing corporate dollars.
Yeah.
Apparently the Penrith committee there, they say it's so easy to when they ring companies up.
Well, when you're winning,
It's so easy to get sponsorship, apparently. So,
Yeah.
and that's the reward for winning and or building a dynasty like they're trying to do.
Okay, boys, what I did was I put together a quick little post-mortem for the teams that didn't make the 8.
No, here we go, Eddie. Here we go. Here we go.
So I'll just, it's just like a paragraph each, but we'll run through and, keen to get your guys' thoughts. So in chronological order, Souths finished 9th, set a new record in rugby league for the biggest implosion in NRL history, at least in the top 8 format. They became the first team in history to miss the finals after sitting first at any point after round 11. I think that says it all, doesn't it?
Yeah.
We already touched on it before. But
Eddie?
If they were removed, it'd be Titanic, eh? If they were removed, it's pretty bad.
You're right.
But they started with a lot of promise. Halfway through the year, I thought, this is the team to beat. They're the only ones who are going to trouble Penrith. But it was unfortunate, man. There was a bit of an implosion there.
I thought I called them for the grand final, Nicola.
So
A lot of people, yeah.
So implosion, and Dimitri, he better get it right because you know what, I can see Sam in the box in a year or so.
Yeah.
So
I'd like
get
to.
it right.
No offense to Dimitri, I just love to see Sam Burgess there in some way, shape, or form.
Look, I think Sam's. I don't know what happened, but as a player, Adi knows that we're both massive fans, and look, I'm sure he'll become a good coach. I'm sure. Actually, what he's doing going to Huddersfield is probably the best thing for him.
He'll have to sort his shit out with Russell Crowe first.
Apparently, they'll kiss and make up.
Eels 10th. Failed to make the top 8 after playing in last year's grand final. A disastrous season, which was compounded by poor recruitment decisions and losing a lot of games by less than 10 points. A massive fail, and one that should have seen the coach moved on.
He's been calling it for you. Go on.
I'm just honest.
To be honest, Parramatta played really well in patches, but they were missing a hooker big time. That Hands guy is going to do well. He's going to be a good player, but that getting rid of Reid Marnie, I'll never understand that.
No, me either.
That cost them big time.
That's why I said poor recruitment decisions.
Poor recruitment, yeah.
They brought in the buy of the season, Josh Hodgson.
Yeah, it's all down to bad recruitment. That's all they put their season down to, man.
Yeah.
You know what? It wasn't one factor in this one, Nicola. It was bad recruitment for sure. Injury, suspensions. Don't forget the draw. How you got that draw?
Yeah, but I don't use that as an excuse.
No, you can't use that as an excuse, man. The draw.
You got to beat whoever's in front of you, man.
They finished top 4 last year, so they're a strong team. So no one should have bothered them.
They got depleted. Their forward pack was completely different.
I know, but
that's their fault, but not anyone else's.
But George, Knights and all that came in the top 8. They were, if they got them at the start of the season, you would have said, "Oh, beauty, we're playing Knights." But they ended up being a strong side. Same did the Warriors.
That's what pissed me off about what the CEO Sarantinos made a statement. He said, it's not our fault this season. We lost a lot of personnel. Well, that's you lost those players.
Yeah, exactly.
That's directly your fault.
Yeah,
not anyone else's.
The only thing I can say is the youngsters you
brought up look good.
Yeah,
and on Saturday,
Hopgood was a shining light.
Absolutely, and I think that he's probably the clubman of the year. I'd say there. And on Saturday, you're playing the Flags playing the final against the Dogs, and apparently the Parramatta team's absolutely stacked in that team. Canterbury stumbled in, but you guys are just stacked.
Rumours about potential return to the club for Chris Sandow at halfback as well. Cowboys.
He's putting me down again.
Cowboys finished 11th. Like the Eels, finished top 4 last season, made it to the prelim, failed to make the top 8 in 23. They had a chance to make it with a win in their last game, but couldn't produce the goods against Penrith. But I think too many losses early in the season made it too hard to recover from because they had a really bad start.
I also think maybe they're a young team, and I think they had a bit of a hangover from last year. No one expected them to go as good as they did, and I think maybe they believed that they would romp it in. They believed a lot of the hype, and they didn't go back to the hard work that got them there. And I think this year will be a big learning curve for them, and they'll be back again next year strong as ever.
I reckon they recovered well in the second half of the season.
Yeah, they did, but it was too late.
Too late.
They just... And, I think that... Yeah, that's my...
Disappointing. Very disappointing for the list he's got. For them not to be top 4 is about as bad as South Sydney. About as bad. Not quite.
They had a lot of injury problems too, didn't they?
Did they have injuries?
Early in the season.
They had injuries?
Lukey was a big one. He's a great player. I like Lukey, but they didn't have really that many, did they? Valentine Holmes?
They missed Tamalolo for a long time.
Tamalolo half a year.
Early in the season, they were hit pretty hard. Drinky was out for a while, wasn't he?
But they're pretty stacked. They got a pretty deep. Yeah, they've got a lot of depth.
Regardless, I don't know what happened off season. Let's chalk it down to what Adi said. Something that had to happen, and if he's under pressure as well, if they don't make top 8 at least, if not top 4.
How come no one ever says Brad Arthur's under pressure? Every other coach.
He's not.
All right.
He's got used to the finals a lot of times.
I know. I don't know what you
If
want.
he doesn't get you to the finals this year, maybe he will be then. But I bet you'll make his...
I think he's signed for another 3 years.
But if you looked at the predictions, right, a lot of the predictions at the start of the year, Cowboys were in the top list for a lot of people.
Yeah.
They were very... everyone was coming on them.
Yeah, the problem, Nick, you say get rid of Arthur, but who are you going to get now? Who is there now to get?
It almost doesn't matter. 10 years. 10 years to get past week 2 of the finals once. That doesn't cut it in any... I don't care how you spin it. To me, that doesn't cut it.
No problem. But if you replace somebody, you got to replace somebody.
Okay, Michael Maguire.
That's it. I'd go for him. He's won the grand final. He
he
knows how to win. He knows what's
Andrew Webster.
Yeah, everybody wishes now.
Anyway, Seagulls 12th. An up and down season under new coach Seabold, the professor. They weren't able to lock down combinations, especially in the halves. Schuster kind of misfired this season.
Big time.
And was dropped for the last couple of rounds. Turbo simply can't get through a season anymore, and I'm going to get smashed for saying this. It's time to retire, Turbo. It's time to hang up the boots. He's cooked. He can't get through a month of footy anymore.
Yeah.
We'll
something simple for Turbo. He's got to give up reps. He got injured in Origin, remember?
Definitely,
so he needs to stop and just give Manly back because he's let them down too much with all these injuries. I think they've got some good young kids coming through, but I was impressed with that Cooler guy's an absolute bargain. He's going to be a top player, and they've got a bit of promise, Manly, so they'll do all right, man.
They got an 800K problem. They re-signed Schuster for 800K.
Yeah, that's the only thing. That was a disappointment.
When no one else was bidding for him.
Yeah. He'll be back in the back row next year. He won't be 5'8". That experiment's
he's
gone.
He's good enough. We've all seen it, right? It's up to the professor to get it out of him.
The professor's got a bit of work.
I don't understand Manly. I don't get Manly. They showed glimpses in games of decent form.
Especially early on.
Yeah. I don't know. I just don't understand them. Thank God for DCE. He had the season of his life.
Yeah.
And should be the Australian.
I think he will be.
I hope so.
I think Meninga's already.
Well, you know what? If you're going to pick on form and in Origin form, well, he's the man. Not even a question. So I'll wait and see. I'm a little bit skeptical and I'm a little bit scared for Manly, but I'd like to get proven wrong because I know you guys like the professor, and I personally
do. Yeah.
I personally like the professor. Like I like the professor. I just don't think he cuts through. I might be wrong. I hope I'm wrong, but I saw enough to say let's see next year. But disappointing season.
Yeah,
disappointing.
Dolphins 13th. They won 9 games in their maiden season, which is more than double the number of games the Tigers won.
Yeah.
Plenty of distractions with injury, etc., but overall a successful first stint.
You know what I was thinking about the other day with the Dolphins, right? You keep hearing guys like Gus and the other guys saying we need a 5-year plan to build a strong team. Well, Bennett's done it in 1 year. He's built a pretty solid team. Like he's done better than Saints, West, and Canterbury.
Yeah.
On nothing. And he hasn't bought superstars. Which marquee player have they really got?
No, he missed out on a bunch of marquee players. He ended up getting second-string players.
Exactly. And look how good he's made them play.
Like,
so these 5-year plans...
One of his most important signings was Sullivan.
Exactly.
And he missed half the season.
Exactly.
So they've had their challenges.
And he persisted with this young 5'8". Like he kept playing him all season. He struggled a little bit, but he kept persisting.
Yeah.
Tim Gilbert was his big sign. It was a good signing for him. He got injured early. He missed out most of the season.
Yeah.
Marshall King.
Phenomenal job. So Dolphins, everyone had him as wooden spoon or bottom. Outstanding
I certainly
season.
did, yeah.
Outstanding. I thought Spoon too.
And they only fell further down the ladder because of injuries. Because they started, they didn't have the depth,
Their
so they
depth
couldn't
was
cope.
stretched, yeah.
I'll tell you one thing that our teams they won't beat themselves. I mean, Bulldogs, St George, West, they'll beat themselves. So outstanding season, and what Wayne's put in there in terms of culture is priceless.
Exactly. Yeah.
When he leaves next year, and all the kids just flood through. The new coach coming through, which I can't remember.
Wolf.
Yeah.
He's going to be blessed with a club with culture, hard work, and just youngsters to boot.
He was drip feeding a few youngsters in there, and they were all sensational. There was one guy that came on a couple of weeks ago. He was brilliant, and he was 26 or something, but he looked fantastic.
Apparently, underneath is just unbelievable.
Mm-hmm.
The Titans finished 14th. Not a successful season by any stretch. Coach Holbrook sacked halfway through the season. Boosted by the long-term extension to Captain Tino, signed a 10-year deal, and Fafita signed a 3-year extension. Hazlitt coming in pre-season in November. Dare I say we'll see a different team next year.
We will, but disappointing because a lot of people had them to sort of push for a top 8 because of the roster, but they disappointed a few as well. And they had a typical Titans year.
Yeah.
Like the type of year they had this year, they had last year, the year before, the year before.
I think I already said it. They're a typical Titans year.
Yeah.
You're right. I think you're right.
I'm curious to see how Foreign goes under Desi.
You know what? Was it Holbrook the coach?
Yeah.
Holbrook got moved on because they had a typical Titan year.
Yeah.
And no other reason. I think that Desi is going to be a masterstroke because when you look at their list, it's not a bad list.
No, it's not.
It is. It's a great list.
There's a lot of excitement, a lot of exciting players, a big hard-nosed pack, definitely one of the best front rowers in the game, one of the best edge back rowers in the game. Their fullback, which one? But their fullback, Campbell, is exciting as. I'll tell you what, Desi's sitting back licking his lips.
Yeah.
So I think I'll be very disappointed and surprised and shocked if they don't make top 8 next year.
Is it too much to ask in his first season, or
No. He's got the cattle there.
Yeah.
He'll put the culture in. He's got Foz. He'll put the culture in straight away in pre-season. Give him a month, the first month, and there might be a bit hit and miss. But come middle of the year, come Origin time, they'll be doing a Newcastle.
Cool.
It's what he does. This is what he does.
Bulldogs 15th.
Are we that high? Are we that high?
One word, dismal. Finished 12th last season and have literally gone backwards under Cameron Ciraldo. Big expectations, hiring Phil Gould, hiring Ciraldo. This team was expecting to at least be fighting for a top 8 spot, if not making it. They've got some fairly big names there in the squad. Oluwapu is a bit of a head scratcher. They paid $500,000 to get him to play in the halves, and he's playing for. Anyway, it's without a number 7 for next season, I think they're going to be struggling.
Yeah. Apparently we got one. Don't we?
Yeah. Look, Dogs had a few injuries at the beginning. Losing Kikau early on, and at the start they started okay. They were using Kikau properly, but losing Kikau. But you can't blame it on one player. He wasn't the only one. They were very poor. Their defense was abysmal. It was just terrible, paper thin. And unfortunately, they're stuck with 40 players turnover. And I just feel like they weren't giving many players a go. They'd have a couple of guys will go in there, they'll make a mistake, out. Another guy will go in there, play a couple, out. You know what I mean? They didn't persist with a guy for the whole season. And that's 40 player turnover in 3 years is just tells you why. You can see why they're going to struggle.
As we went through last week, the defence is the worst it's been in 10 years.
It's the worst. And now with all this debacle about culture and that, I don't know. It's been a disappointing year, but they finished ahead of the Dragons and the Tigers. So there you go.
Early victories. You know what? Disgraceful, disgusting. Mr. Popular is going to be very quickly unpopular. Gus is on the wrong path. He can bring in another 20 players. He can bring Crichton from Penrith. He can bring the Australian team. Guess what? He'll lose. He'll give him 3 months, and he'll lose the dressing room, Serrato. It's a bomb waiting to go off, Nicola. He will not get any better. And this year was the worst Canterbury team I've seen. You know what? I'm ashamed of saying that I'm a Bulldog supporter. I say first I'm a rugby league supporter, then I'm a Bulldog supporter, and because they don't show me anything. At least St George showed me something. They show fight. They show.
Well, I think this is worse than a couple of years ago when they got the spoon because
they used to fight.
Because of the cattle.
The
cattle you got this year.
And you're alluding when they had Dean Pay or even Potsy.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, under Dean Pay. Okay, and Potsy, not under Trent.
But the effort was there.
The effort was there.
Yeah.
The effort was there. So I'm ashamed of calling myself a Bulldog supporter.
It's like they replaced the next Penrith assistant coach with a current assistant Penrith coach, and they got the same result.
Dragons 16th, horrible season. Only managed a handful of wins this season, and Coach Griffin was sacked halfway through the year, which did see the performances improve a bit. Had a lot of distractions with Ben Hunt, a lot of uncertainty, but all that seems to be settled now. Flanagan coming in as the new coach. I think things are looking good for next year.
Before you go on, Adi, I heard that Hunt's going to go.
Apparently, he's committed to staying.
He's going. He just came out and said he's staying.
I think he's going to. I heard
2025. But next year, he came out and publicly said he's going to stay.
Interesting to see how that plays out.
Titans.
I heard he's going.
Titans.
I'm not sure, but someone told me that there's a massive chance that.
Yeah.
Well, we need a hooker.
He doesn't want to play hooker. He's not playing hooker. You know what? I could be wrong, and he could be wrong.
Yeah.
But he said that what he's heard is that he's going to go.
Yeah.
But anyway, let's say he's not. He's going to stay. He's got a contract, and things like getting rid of him. There's no way that Flanagan's going to let him go. He play Reg as far as he's concerned.
Yeah. This is my take on it, right? Start of the year, the predictions were Dragons were going to come last, second last, all because of a guy named Hook.
Yeah.
He was there. Why St George didn't move him on and waited for the first 10 rounds, it's just like they wasted all the fans' time this year. It was a wasted year. They knew he was going to fail. They just didn't want to pay him out. They didn't want to pay for a new coach.
Is that what you reckon it was?
I don't know. But there's something stupid, but they kept him on, and then 10 weeks later they get rid of him. They finally get Flanagan in, but the season's gone. And all these hard-earned fans going there to every game, it's just a debacle. You reckon Canterbury was a debacle? We knew from the start it was going to be a debacle, and it ended up being one. We had no promise from the start, and it fizzled big time.
That's what we said at the start of the year, didn't we? Remember
Exactly.
we talked about it, and even the entry to the show.
It's
what I
shocker.
say, they should have got Hook. Should have got rid of Hook 2 years ago.
Exactly, and it's just disappointing. I really hope the board of directors really cop a lot of flack because of this season, because it's all because of them, not because of Hook, not because of the players.
No, it's because of the
them.
board.
The board made that shit decision. Now that we got Flanagan, we've got a bit of promise, but it's going to take a bit of time now. And we had juniors that we were going to bring through like Penrith, ready to go, and it's just Sullivan's gone now, so we're losing that. It's just future's just was looking good, but then it's just gone to shit.
But Adi, what's there? It looks promising.
Yeah, I know, but
Fullback,
still,
the two twins.
It's just
Kyle Flanagan will end up there, right?
Probably.
well, that's what they're saying. But
And you know what?
He's a good hooker.
Since he changed to hooker, he's played really well.
Good hooker.
whatever.
Maybe that's his future.
Yeah.
Don't you think?
I think he's a good player. I think he's a good hooker. I'd say he's a good halfback. But
They've got him as a 14. I reckon they're going to get him as a 14.
But since he changed to hooker in the Reggies, he's
I
been
think it's
playing
good.
really well. And when he has played first grade for the Bulldogs, he's played well at hooker.
Yeah.
Back end of the season.
You know what? And I see your face. That no one's giving him a go, the poor kid.
Yeah.
You know what I think about
Well,
how he's been treated.
They reckon at Cronulla he was really good.
He was.
He
Do
was
you remember when he
fantastic.
played halfback? He was only 18 then.
Yeah.
And he was steering the team around. So give Flano some time.
Yeah,
I'm telling you
I've got a lot of faith
the
in
last
Flano.
3 years, it's the worst move he's ever done. He's been mistreated, honest. You know what I mean? And all we have to go back to see that and Nicola said it. That press conference when he came out and started crying.
That's horrible.
They should have known.
That's horrible.
They should have known his mental state.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so
That was horrible.
so it's just the worst environment for the kid. So he'll do well. I'm telling you now. If he goes, he'll do well.
Yeah.
Lucky last. Tigers 17. Biggest basket case of the competition. They finished last in 2022 and would make you think, well, it can only go up from here. It actually went backwards. They finished 17th, which is one spot worse than last year. 4 wins all year, less than half than what the Dolphins did. The 5-year grand plan of Sheen's coaching for 2 years and Benji taking over in 25 went to shit, with Sheen's being sacked only 9 months in, and Benji's already taken over as head coach. Much like the Bulldogs, the Tigers have made some impressive additions to their squad, but it's had little impact. At the executive level, the hierarchy's in a shambles, led by Lee Hadjipentalis and CEO Justin Pascoe, who you might as well call the fugitive because he hasn't been seen in months. Too many balls ups to list here, but it's going to take something special for Benji to avoid a third wooden spoon.
Poor Benji.
You know what? I applaud Tigers because they saw it was going to shit and they got rid of Tim Sheens. Balls on them to do that, you know what I mean? They said they had a 5-year plan. Okay, it's not working. They got rid of Sheens. That's like Canterbury now. Wouldn't you be happy if they did it now to Canterbury?
Yeah.
If they said it's not working, man, let's get rid of him. Forget it. And then replace him straight away. That's what they've done. They've got the balls to do that, which I applaud. And I reckon they've released.
It's a little bit different than the Dogs.
But they've got players like Buller. They've got all these youngsters that are coming through, which are going to be superstars.
They've got youngsters coming through.
So I think the Tigers have got more promise than the Dragons and Bulldogs next year.
Artie, the same people who sacked Sheens are the ones who put him in there after sacking him last time.
But it shows that they've got high expectations. They don't take shit. If it goes to shit, they remove it straight away. And they're trying to fix things.
Are they
It just
setting
doesn't
Benji
work.
up for a fail?
Yes.
I don't know, man.
He needs a good assistant, right?
Well, they've got John Morris. John Morris will be fantastic.
He's not experienced. They need a good, in my opinion, someone like Holbrook.
He's been,
I don't know.
that'd be good to get Holbrook, but
I mean, John Morris is good
been
too,
around.
yeah.
He's a Flanagan boy. He went to what's his name, South for a bit.
Dimitri.
So he's got a bit of good experience. He coached South for a bit, Cronulla.
Yeah.
You know what? I think you're seeing it wrong. I think meaning well, Hadjipentalis, meaning well, but he's obviously a control freak.
Oh yeah, he is.
Okay, and what he did to Tim, he noticed Tim's had too much power around the place, too much control, and what he done was a bunch of sneaky moves to get rid of him.
Oh,
and he did.
With the whole Fulton thing.
the whole Fulton
exactly.
Oh, by the
That was
way,
pretty
you're going to
bad.
see breaking news. The Tigers are going to sign youngster Zach Fulton from Manly.
Oh fuck!
By the way, I haven't seen that anywhere, but I did see that Manly are cleaning out a bunch of players, and he's
Zach
one of them.
Fulton, yeah.
So what's the bet? He ends up at the Tigers.
Yeah. He's
He's
actually
not a bad player,
He's actually
actually.
not bad.
Yeah, he's actually quite good.
Back rower.
Yeah.
Youngster. Yeah.
He's got a bit of mongrel in him.
Look, let's wait and see. I hope they have an improved season next year. I do know one thing. I really like Benji. We all
me
like
too.
Benji.
Yeah.
We all know what Benji's like. And you know what? I'm thinking he's been served a shit sandwich. And in 2 years, his name's going to be smeared.
Or it's a golden opportunity for him too.
You know what? If he swings this around, we'll be calling him Supercoach. We won't be calling Supercoach anymore.
John Morris is going to help him a lot.
hope so.
He's going to be enormous.
He's also got an ace up his sleeve, don't forget, in Wayne Bennett,
yeah.
who he said he talks to
All the time.
almost daily. And I'm sure that Bennett would have said, I'm here for you
I hope so.
as a mentor type thing, because they're very close, those two.
They are close.
Yeah.
He says that he's the one who saved his career. Benji says he's the one who saved his career when he went to Broncos. So, look, I hope so, because, again, by all reports, what they've got underneath, and they're a few years away, is very impressive.
Exactly,
so, But that's what they said about St George as well.
Mm.
They're a few years away, but what they've got underneath is better than what West has got.
Yeah.
Let's run through done and dusted, round 27.
Done and dusted.
We can skim through it because a lot of these games were dead rubbers.
They were, mate, yeah.
Storm 32, Broncos 22, reserve grade versus reserve grade.
It was. The only standout was that kid, Falongo. Falongo? He was fantastic. Where did they get him from?
How good is it that they're playing each other this week?
Yeah, exactly. And Broncos haven't beaten them 14 times, man. So they got the water on them hard. I never realised that bad. So, yeah, that's all I had, mate. Tristan Jada looked good too.
No, so Artie's got it covered.
Seagulls 54, Tigers 12.
Wow.
It's a good finish for the Seagulls.
It was good. And the good thing about that, the highlight, Jake Trbojevic scored
he
in
did,
his
he did
200th
score.
game.
He
They
did
gave it to
score.
him literally over the line. They were toying with the Tigers in the end, which was a bit sad. But it was a good finish by the Seagulls.
But, yeah, worth pointing out, games like this, for teams like the Tigers and other teams, very hard to turn up. You just want to go home.
They went to Bali
Yeah.
the day before.
Yeah.
Well, this one was important. The Roosters 26, Rabbitohs 12. It was an enjoyable game to watch.
It was a very enjoyable game. Me and George watched that
together,
one.
yeah.
The Roosters
Some key moments like Cody Walker's pass when South had the chance to score in the corner and he passed to the ground.
Yeah.
Just some key moments let him down.
And another key moment was losing Blake Taff early.
Yeah.
That would have hurt because he plays a huge role. And that helped the Roosters a lot. But I thought the Roosters were that much sharper. They were a bit switched on. They were more hungry for the win. And South looked deflated after they lost Taff and a few others that was sort of starting to deflate a bit. But they were hanging in there, you know.
Yeah, look, Robbo had devised a nice game plan to stop supply and spot in and around Cody because he knew that was the issue. On the other side, Campbell Graham. He's just out of sorts, the poor guy.
Yeah.
Just go and get an operation, Campbell. I feel for him.
Seriously,
It's a hard operation too, sternum. So, and you know what? They were just that little bit better. I did see some spirit. I see some spirit from Souths. So it's not a write-off and some momentum going into next year. But on the night, the Roosters were the better team, and they could be a scary proposition.
Yeah,
could be a scary proposition. They got to just tighten up their error rate. But beside that, yeah.
Dolphins finished with a strong win at home, 34-10 over the Warriors. Warriors rested most of their team.
Dolphins finished on a high. That was fantastic by them. What's his name? Isako ended up getting the record.
Jermaine Isako, yeah.
He got the most points scored in the season. I think he overtook someone, which was fantastic for him.
Is it for a maiden club? Or?
For a maiden club, yeah, which was great. So a lot of promise there for the Dolphins. They're looking good, aren't they? They're a good side. Wayne Bennett has got them starting on what a start to the year, to their career, to their season, to their
good momentum.
It's good momentum. Year, next year they'll get even better.
Yeah.
Panthers 44, Cowboys 12 out at Penrith.
Wow.
Blew them off the park.
Panthers just smashed the Cowboys. They had nothing.
Panthers played everyone too. Worth
yeah,
noting,
it was noting. Yeah, and a lot of people didn't expect that, especially me. I tipped Cowboys thinking Penrith are going to go out, with the eye on next week. But Penrith were just too good. Cowboys had.
Apparently, Nicola during the week, Ivan was going to rest them all, and he doesn't care about the minor premiership. But they all approached Ivan and they said they wanted to play. Apparently, Ivan wasn't really aware of what the story was when they played the Cowboys up in North Queensland. Let's say some of the Cowboys and especially Scott Drinkwater, let's say got a little bit animated with Dylan Edwards. They sent a reserve grade team because you remember it was
during the Origin.
Yeah, it was during the Origin.
Yeah.
So they rested most of the players, and I think the Penrith boys put that in their memory banks, and they gave it back in multiple serves.
They certainly did.
And one of my favourite sledges, there's a lot apparently, they told me on SEN they said this, but one of my favourite sledges is, I know what we're doing next week, what are you blokes doing?
And that was a semi-final for the Cowboys. They needed to win.
Yep. I know what we're doing next week, what are you blokes doing? In other words, we're playing semi-finals next week, yous are not. So, yeah, they toyed with them, honestly. They toyed with them.
Yeah, Penrith's going to be hard to beat, mate. That's for sure.
Knights 32, Dragons 12.
Disappointing ending to the season. Felt sorry for Ryan Carr. They dished out that shit for the poor guy because they've been playing well up until then. But I think when the Tigers lost, I think the pressure was off them. I think they thought, you know what, we're guaranteed no wooden spoon. And there was no intensity, there was no nothing.
Again, it's real hard to show up in a situation like that.
Yeah, but credit to the Knights, they played well.
Can I just say something? You know, we talk about Tyson Gamble and we have fun with him in terms of a sledger, this and that. He's actually a very, very, very good player. He's been playing very well.
He's been playing very well.
Ball in hand.
Me too, I know.
He's been playing pretty well. And you know what? In the full team, he's a key pivot, helping the control freak and giving some good supply to the outside backs, Best and Ponga. So, you know, we muck around with him, but he's actually a good player.
Exactly. And they rested a few players, and they got their 9th win in a row, which is the first time since 2006 or whatever.
Is that when they won the comp? Joe's team?
Might have been. I don't know. I can't remember.
That was 2001.
Oh, that was 2001. Okay. But, yeah, so credit to the Knights.
Gold Coast 34, Bulldogs 30.
You know what? It was a bludger, but it was an exciting bludger. Some of the tries, it was. I thought,
Addo Carr scored a nice try.
The Addo Carr try, the chip over the top, the double chip.
Yeah.
I think that's the try of the year. How exciting was that? I mean, I've got to admit, I'm sitting back just laughing my head off, just seeing what I was watching, like defense 0 for both teams. But it was entertaining. So yeah,
Kieran Foran hat-trick, first time in his career.
Kieran Foran, you know, and the way he scored, like he strolled through the defense in the middle, straight through the middle. So. Well, look, you know, both teams their brains were on barley, so
yeah. It was another game refereed by a lady called Badger, Casey Badger. So she made history. Casey. Second game. I should have mentioned the other game that there was a female referee. What do you think of her performance? Do you reckon she refereed?
I thought it was great. She was great.
Casey's been around for a while.
She handled it really well.
That's good. She's got a husband who used to be an ex-referee. Yep. Yeah.
Gavin Badger.
Yeah, I actually. Everybody likes Belinda, or she's on the
Belinda Sharp.
Yeah, Belinda Sharp's on the higher profile, but I actually like Casey.
I think they're both really good.
I actually like Casey.
Good on.
Worth mentioning here as well, the Bulldogs cancelled Mad Monday and did some charity stuff.
Yeah, so they should.
Yeah,
it's worth noting. It's worth noting.
You know what? Good on them. And if this is the start of the new era of the Bulldogs, and if we have to get rid of 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, how much did Gus turn over? 20 players, 40 players to find the right players and the right players who buy into the culture. Here. Let's see. I'm over slagging them. Let's have an off season. Yeah. Let's wait next year and let's see what happens. So we all know how I feel about it. I've predicted what's going to happen. Let's hope it doesn't happen, but you know, go and do some more charity work. I reckon. Go and do some more charity work.
And in the last game, Sharks 24, Raiders 6. You know what that means? The Sharks beat a top 8 team.
They did, and they earned themselves a home final.
Yeah.
So good win by the Sharks. That dangerous tackle though, Sebastian Chris, that looked awful.
5 weeks
he got.
God,
yeah.
5 weeks, yeah.
It
was a bad tackle.
That was a terrible tackle.
Genuine speed.
Yeah. But that Braden Trindle is made a difference, I reckon, the Sharks. Since he's been at the Sharks, they've looked so much better.
Good player.
So good on the Sharks.
Best game in the round, boys?
Roosters South for me. That was a pretty good game for me.
I like the Sharks one.
I'd almost go Dogs Titans because again, I love the close ones. You know, yeah. But if we're talking quality in that, Roosters Rabbitohs for me.
Yeah,
I like the Sharks. It was good. Yeah, but I love the Roosters one too.
Bludger of the round.
Oh.
I put Bludgers, Western Saints. It looks like they were playing their eyes were on Barley. They just didn't turn up at all. Those two teams.
Western Manly, yeah.
Western Saints.
Well, I got Western Manly. But
Manly?
The game.
Oh, the game.
The game, yeah. The game, yeah.
What stood out for you guys this week?
Gee, what stood out, Arnie?
What stood out for me was the Roosters beating the Souths to make it in the 8, which I never saw coming. I did not think that the Roosters would be
A couple
in
of
the 8.
weeks ago, no way.
No, it's 10 weeks ago they were gone. They were down the bottom. So that stood out for me. Just this comeback from the Roosters is amazing.
I'm going to be a broken record and say that it just solidified in my head that if the Panthers want to win the competition, they'll win the competition.
Yeah.
No one can beat them. If they feel like they want to win the competition, no one will beat them. Not this year anyway. Maybe next year. Not this year.
Who gets the John Cree spray? All of them.
No. I've got a special one for this one.
Have you?
Yeah. I was really, really angry last week when I saw NRL 360 because West Tigers and St George have been copying it from Hooper and Braithen Nasta.
Yeah.
Couldn't get their grins off their mouth and all these, they were laughing at them, calling them a circus and all that. And then when the Bulldogs look like a circus, it's all serious, like, they're the benchmark, we can't, like everything got serious.
Yeah.
And I thought that was, as a fan of the Wests and the Dragons, mate, you can't laugh at our clubs and then not laugh at your own for doing some stupid things. It left a really bad taste in me. If you're going to have biased guys like that on the panel, get rid of them. I want guys that are going to be fair on everyone, not just laugh at people, people's misfortunes like they do with West and St George.
Yeah.
It's terrible. So my spray is get Braith and get Cooper out of that commentary, man.
Braith?
I won't watch 360 again.
Braith?
Yeah, he's terrible.
I'm gonna back that up, and in the pre-show I spoke about this. I don't understand how the journalists are all covering up or supporting the Dogs. It's got me buggered. What's happening at the Dogs at the moment is far worse than what's happening at the Tigers, at Saints, at West. Far worse. I mean, for God's sake, we've got someone suing the club for
training, for mental health. Yeah,
mental
exactly.
health.
Yeah.
And they knew he had a mental history. So, for God's sake, call a spade a spade.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You journalists, get your finger out of your bum, and you know what? We know they're all your mates. You've all played there, but do your job, yeah, and call it. The only guy who's calling it is Buzz. I can't believe I'm saying that.
Yeah, I know.
I can't believe I'm saying that. The only guy calling it is Buzz. Okay, and they play with Buzz on the NRL.
Yeah, I know.
And I haven't seen it. I won't lie to you. I haven't watched 360 for a couple of weeks because the same as Adi, it makes me angry. It just makes me angry. You know what I mean? I've got it on the app and I listen to it sometimes on my phone. But look, you know what? Call a spade, journos. Call a spade a spade. Don't protect the Bulldogs or Gus. God's sake, Gus. Nor Serrato. You know what I mean? Do your job.
And the way they smile and laugh at the Dragons and West every time.
They mock them.
Yeah, they mock them hard, don't they? And what did St George do? They had a rookie coach backflip on them. Wow, big deal. As if that's the biggest, it's circus. That's what Hooper was saying, throwing all these things. Because Rolls, mate, we're lucky he walked out because we ended up getting Flanagan. So I don't know why you're criticising him. And what did the West Tigers do? They keep bringing up the CEO wearing a muscle shirt or whatever. That's why the guy never goes. That's why Pascoe never goes on these shows because ever since then he's been probably scarred. Like, why am I going to appear on a show? They're going to make fun of me.
You're right.
Well, my spray goes to the CEO for displaying his apparent lack of knowledge for the game.
Oh, yeah, Abdo.
193 assists on live TV. Abdo, great one.
193 tries. Imagine they're 4 against them.
And the fact that he didn't even realise he said something so stupid.
How could one person do 190? Has he touched the ball 193 times?
Dylan Edwards' response, his facial expression was priceless. Who gets Manoli's player of the round, or is it player of the season?
Player of the round.
Player of the round.
Team of the season soon. But, mate, this is going to go to a guy who's only played one NRL game for Melbourne Storm. His name was Falogo. He was fantastic.
Yeah.
Where does Storm find these guys? But whatever, this guy's going to be a star. Like, he was phenomenal. The pace, the power, everything about him was great. So mine went to the youngster. Minority's going to go, who's this? He's going to just think he's a normal kid off the road. No, that's an actual player, man. He's a youngster he's never seen.
I want to be controversial here. Nick, I'm going to be very controversial. I'm going to give it to Belinda Sharp.
Yeah.
Ah, that's a good one.
Belinda Sharp, the first woman to ref an NRL game in the one game in the one referee system.
Yeah.
And she was actually good. I thought she was actually good.
She is good.
Can I be honest? I wanted to roast her. I was watching to roast her, but she was good. She was good, and so was her friend
Badger.
But Belinda's the catalyst there. She's the flagship. So yeah, look. I think your guy can pick up Belinda and then go together.
That's it.
In an Uber. Yeah,
I'm going to give it to Foran for bagging a hat trick for the first time in his career.
That's a good one too.
Get him down. Get him on the. Actually, he can pick up. He can hire a car and pick all three of them up.
Artie, you got something for us?
Yeah, mate. I've got a bit of spam mail. Firstly, South want to thank the Warriors for giving them their 17 tickets to Bali. They were supposed to leave this week, but the Warriors gave it to South instead. So that was unexpected.
Dread.
Cowboys also want to thank the Knights for giving them their tickets. They were going to go to Bali too this week, but now the Cowboys are going.
They're all going.
Unfortunately, Eels have to wait till October. They didn't think they got to go to Bali because they thought they were going to still win finals. The Eels have got a month of wait before they go. So that's the thing there.
Everybody's cancelling tickets.
Everyone's cancelling tickets. Ivan from Penrith.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he wrote. No, that's a new one.
Hey
Hey Gus, how long till Serrato starts feeling tired?
What?
Because he sacked Ivan Cleary for being tired.
Remember? Then he can go to the Tigers. Then he can go to the Tigers. He might do well there. And by the way, Hook's available. You can get him to come in.
Oh no!
Ivan must still have a bit of a gripe there.
No,
bit of a gripe.
I don't think he's that type of guy. You know what? I found something that Hook can't do as well. He can't commentate.
Yeah.
Oh my God! You know what?
He puts me to sleep.
I'm so glad you said that.
he
Right?
puts me to
I'm
sleep.
so glad you said that because I forgot to bring it up. God, he was horrible.
Oh, he's bad.
And I feel bad for the guy because I like him. But I was thinking to myself, watching this game, imagine this guy in your ear all day, every day at training.
Oh no!
He sounds like a wet blanket.
Yeah, he's terrible.
Poor guy.
He's so boring.
He was so
monotone.
boring. Yeah.
Monotone. They're really on a roll now.
Well, you can see now they've gone wide with the ball. And then oh man!
Imagine him trying to explain to youngsters.
I'm glad you brought that up because I forgot about that.
That was terrible.
So bad.
That was horrible.
And the last one's Stephen from Penrith. He just wants to know if there's any good lawyers who know how to break contracts. So looking to get out of that one. I reckon Kafusi and that's it.
Kafusi lawyers.
Yeah, that's it.
Kafusi Nelson.
So what I've got here is Manoli's given me his team of the year.
Oh yeah,
Manoli, right? So Manoli, team of the year's got 1 to 17.
Lovely. Can't wait.
He's not really good with names, so he's giving me some.
names.
Yeah, so he's sort of giving me some.
Thank God
nicknames.
you know who they are.
Yeah, lucky man. So fullback, he's got Reflections.
Reflection.
Yeah, he reckons the boy that
Reece
likes, the guy that likes looking in the mirror, Reece Walsh. So Reflections, he got the fullback of the year. The winger went to our favourite nickname made by Nico there, Lesbian Act. He has had a great season.
You know what? A lesbian.
Yeah, he's got to be one.
Lesbian Act.
The improvement in the Lesbian Act is amazing, and I'll go back to Reece. What he's done this year compared to what we've seen previous years. He's the premier fullback.
There you go. So Manoli's picking the right one.
He's got him right.
On the other wing, he's got the frequent flyer.
Frequent flyer.
Jermaine Isako. He's been at 3 clubs in 26-22, so he calls him the frequent flyer. So, yeah. One of the centres has got the hammer, hammer, which is there. And the other one, I didn't understand, number 53, he said. Number 53? I said, who's that?
53?
Yeah, you know the movie Herbie Goes Bananas? Yeah. The number on the car was number 53.
Yeah.
Herbie Farnworth. So we've got number 53, Herbie Farnworth, is the centre. 5'8", he's got the pocket dynamo, Ezra Mam.
He's a man.
He's a little man, but the guy's a dynamic player. And he's partnered in the halves with Lambrusco, which is Sean Johnson. He's like a red wine.
Just gets better with age.
It just gets better with age.
And of course, it's got to be Lambrusco.
Yeah. I think my favourite though, he's come up with some good ones. One of the props is Jerry Maguire.
Jerry Maguire.
Yeah.
Show me the money.
Show me the money. Pay us.
He's gone Jerry Maguire.
This is champagne. This is champagne. This is champagne.
And the other prop is Disney. Aladdin. Aladdin for Neil Blake. Aladdin. I don't know. I think you should have called him Aladdin, not Disney. And the hooker is back pain, which is Appy Coruscant, because he's carrying the whole team on his back.
Yeah. He carried the whole team.
Yeah, that's him, mate. His back row is the Swallow Matangi, which is called, and Josephina's Dream. And I said, no, that one I didn't understand, Josephina's Dream. Well, he reckons that Patrick Carrigan's got really nice hair, and Josephina would just love to cut that hair. And the lock was Mr. Reliable, which is Yayo. He's just reliable. Mr. Reliable. They'd be boring there, Mr. And he's finished. His bench is guaranteed 20, which is Alex Johnson, who has 20 tries.
That guy's a try scoring machine.
He's a try scoring machine.
Guaranteed 20.
Guaranteed 20.
I love these new names we've got.
We've got some new ones. The St. George Lock, which is Tyson Frizzell. The St. George Lock. The king of the sledge is Mr. Tyson Gamble.
He had to make it.
Sledgehammer.
You need a backhammer. And Fussell Leather and Souvlaki was the... which is Tino, Big Tino. Which Fussell Leather is baked beans in Greek. Fussell Leather and Souvlaki. So we've got them. And he's even picked a rookie, but he didn't make a nickname for that. His rookie was... He likes the Taruva guy. He's been fantastic, he reckons. It's his first year, isn't it?
Yeah.
So he got it right there.
It was first year,
His buy of the season was Reflections, which is, again, Reece Walsh.
That's cool.
And the dud buy of the year is Josh Hodgson. There you go. So
Definitely.
So Manoli,
That's cool.
that's his team of the week.
Outstanding.
So all these guys have to go to his truck. We've got to send them a voucher and they can go get a free Souvlaki.
First of all,
Sure.
you know what? That was outstanding, and the best part of that, and you know what? He got the team pretty much spot
It is,
on. But
yeah.
the good thing is, I got some new nicknames out of that.
Yeah.
Would you guys put another player? Like, is there another? Do you reckon there's another player you'd put in there instead of that? Is there another guy that stood out to you guys that should be in this team?
Yeah, I'm just
If
thinking.
anyone, I mean, it's hard to go past Reflections, but I thought Jareen Buller was a real standout this season.
Yeah.
Rookie.
Oh, he was a
Rookie.
sort of fringe.
Yeah.
Book. Yeah, he had him
Rookie.
and Buller as
For
well.
sure,
And he
rookie.
had Preston's. He had those three as
Yeah,
the
he was
three
good. He's
rookies.
another one. Yeah.
Rookie.
So good rookies were Taruva, Buller, and Preston's.
Yeah.
I think I think you got the wingers right, got the centers right.
Yeah, he called Buller ice cream because you know the Buller.
Yeah. You know what? I'm not sure about the 5'8", but I can't think of any other one. So
Ezra Mam, he's
yeah.
been.
I know you like him.
love him.
I know you like him, and I don't disagree. But I can't think of another
Which
one.
other
so-
5'8"?
Yeah,
Munster?
I can't. No, he didn't. He hasn't had a good season.
Who else would you put? So yeah, you'd put Tyson Gamble, the 5'8". He was the 5'8", wasn't he?
No.
Yeah, I think-
I can't believe that your favourite hasn't made the list. The Newcastle fullback.
he didn't have enough games. He had him
Yeah.
second. He said if he played more games, he
Okay.
probably would have put him ahead of Reflections. But he put and he calls him Toilet Boy because you call him Toilet Boy. Yeah.
Toilet, of course, it's Toilet
It's
Boy.
always going to be Toilet Boy.
It's always going to be Toilet Boy.
But,
Yeah, look, I like it. To my knowledge, I like it.
Yeah,
I like it. I like
Yeah.
it. It's good stuff.
there you go, mate. So that's
Do you like any
Good
Nicola?
stuff. No, that was wonderful. That was wonderful.
yeah, so we've got some nicknames there.
That's good.
Let's look forward to week one of the semis, boys.
Ooh, it's going to be cracker.
Crystal Ball. We've got
Cracker.
four
Cracker.
cracking games. 7:50 on Friday night. The Broncos hosting the Storm.
Talk to me, Adi. Talk to me.
Both
Broncos
with
have
their
got a
full complement.
shocking record. Hey, they've lost 14 in a row or something.
I think
against
they're gonna
Storm.
win this.
But yeah,
I think they're going to win this.
I like them on paper better than the Storm,
Yeah.
to be honest.
Records mean nothing once the whistle goes.
That's true, and it's at Suncorp. It's at
Yeah.
home, isn't it? So
Yeah. George?
I'm going to guess Broncos. Yeah,
You know what? We know what the Melbourne Storm are going to do. They're going to come out. They're going to try to get the Broncos into the grind, and they're going to wait because they're a very patient team. They're going to wait until the Broncos start making mistakes. Now, if they play an 80% completion game, they'll do okay, and they'll beat Melbourne. They'll beat them well. But if they do what they always do and complete at 60%, if you go back to your stats, Nicola, you'll see that they only complete 60%. And Reece Walsh does what Reece Walsh does. He might make a few breaks, but he makes about
Makes
half a
some
dozen.
mistakes.
Half
yeah,
dozen.
that's a problem with him. Yeah.
And Melbourne jumps on those loose balls and get you in the grind and put 16 on you before you can think about it. I can see the formula for the Storm to win. I am going to pick the Broncos, and the only reason I'm going to pick the Broncos, I just look at the list, and it's just so much quality. It's embarrassing how much
I've
quality
got a
they've
feeling
got.
they'll win.
But if they do that, if they happen to make mistakes, and if they happen to complete it 60%, Melbourne's not going away.
Yeah.
John Cree's teams don't go away.
Is the halfback 100%?
I believe so.
He is, because I know he was injured just before the season.
I believe so.
Yeah.
Jerome Hughes, what's his name? Hughes.
Yeah. Hughes?
Jerome Hughes.
Oh,
yeah.
no. Yeah, I'd say he'll be noodled up. But
He'll be noodled up.
they're all,
Because he's crucial.
Half
Half
the
team.
Everyone is at this point. Yeah.
half
it's
the
crucial.
teams are noodled up. But, the good thing is that he's in. Hey, who did Manoli pick for his halfback? DCE?
No, Labrusco. Johnson.
Sean Johnson.
Oh, yeah, okay.
He won a few awards. He won a few.
Yeah, no, I'd say he'll get down the M. Yeah, no, look,
DC came close.
Yeah,
DC was the second favourite.
I thought he went well. I'm going Broncos, but I'll tell you what, they better complete 80%, because if they don't, they're in trouble.
Yeah, I like the back line better for the Bronx.
Oh, when you look at I'm interested how he put Jesse Arthurs and not
Oates.
Yeah, I'm interested in that. It's very interesting. But when you look at the list, it's embarrassing how much cattle they've got.
Yeah.
It's embarrassing. On paper, they're the best team in the competition. There's no doubt.
Yeah.
The thing is that when you get into semi-finals, everything steps up. We know that Melbourne's been there. They'll step up.
Yeah.
Broncos, this team here, this particular team, have never been in this situation.
No, but they've got a lot of Origin winners, though.
Yeah, they'll probably step up. I'm just saying that it's 80 minutes.
Yeah.
Saturday afternoon, 4 p.m. at Bluebet Stadium, Penrith. Panthers hosting the Warriors. Tough outing for the Warriors.
It is, but with Webster, who knows the ins and outs of Penrith, I reckon he'll give them a better run than people think.
Yeah.
I think Penrith will win, but I think the Warriors are going to give them a tougher game.
I mean, I love the Warriors story, but to be honest with you, I cannot see anyone beating Penrith.
Exactly, yeah.
Someone told me that the Warriors have got a really good chance because they play unpredictable rugby league. Let me suggest to you, because of their coach, they're as structured as Penrith. So he's not going to change anything. So we're going to have two extremely structured teams going at each other. I really would love to see the Warriors do well. I'm not sure if they can win. I'm positive they can't win, actually. But I'm hoping to see a really, really good game. I actually think by the end of the game, it's going to be 13+. It might get a little bit embarrassing, but for 60 minutes, they'll be hanging in.
They'll be hanging in.
I'm just, I look at their faces, and Fanua Blake is going to give everything that these forwards, Lioto and the Fish is going to give. So he'll be smashing people. Sorensen's in, and the best back row, Liam Martin's in. Yeah, look, Penrith will win and win well, but. Don't disregard the Warriors. Let's not disregard them. Let's not disregard them.
The next game is interesting because 7:50 p.m. at PointsBet Stadium, the Sharks are hosting the Roosters. And why I say it's interesting is that they're both $1.90. So they're split right down. There's no favourite here.
Pick them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah,
it's a tough one. Like the Roosters, I got a feeling they'll get up.
it's the toughest game out of the four, isn't it? The closest one.
$1.90 a piece.
I'm going Roosters. Because Sharks can't beat top 8 sides. They only won their first one against Raiders, against a really bad Raiders.
Yeah.
So, they're not a bad Raiders, but weakened Raiders. So I'm going to go Roosters because of that. And I liked what I saw against South. I really thought they really picked it up. My only concern is Manu.
Yeah.
If he gets injured early or if he doesn't play, that might help Cronulla a bit.
What do you think, George?
You know what? I actually don't know.
Connor Tracy, the fullback, apparently he's injured.
Yeah.
But the other guy, Will Kennedy, is back from injury. So there's a good chance Connor Tracy might not play last minute. Yeah.
Okay, well, he's named.
Yeah, he's named, but he got injured. He got taken off 20 minutes before the game.
Is he on the extended list, the other guy?
Yeah, I think Will Kennedy.
He's back from an injury.
Yeah, so William Kennedy's and he's sensational too.
Yeah. Look, I don't know. I really don't know. But I'm gonna just point it on one thing. I know that the Sharks, their middles, despite what we saw last week, their middles can't run it with the big boys, and the Roosters, experienced club at this stage of the year, they just step up.
Yeah, and Crichton came back too, and he looked good last
Crichton
week.
looked good, and you know what, May, we've been waiting for him to. I've been hearing a lot of things. I've been waiting for him to produce something. Last week he produced it. I don't know if you noticed him. So just on that fact, Nicola, I'm going to go Roosters because I know what they're going to do.
And Radley's changed too. Radley's also changed as well.
He's changed his game. I said it last week. Radley's changed his game. He's becoming effective. I like it. And he'll just develop. He'll just keep on developing. I really hope so because we all like Radley.
In the last game, Sunday afternoon, 4:05 p.m. up at Newcastle, Knights heavy favourites against the Raiders.
Knights heavy favourites.
$1.23 to $4.20.
Jack's still in
I
the
think
centres.
Newcastle will roll them.
Jack's in the centres, Nicola. Frawley and Fogarty are in the halves. And at the moment, a pack which is not really doing too much. And Newcastle are doing things which I never expected them to do. Adi?
Yeah.
What do you got for me?
I'm going to go Knights because I think they're stronger. But one thing that's exciting about this, if the Knights win and the Warriors lose, they play each other the week after. That's going to be a cracking game. Those two teams are going to be good.
That's at Newcastle.
That's at Newcastle,
No,
so that'll be good.
Oh no, New Zealand
It's
or
New Zealand.
Newcastle?
New Zealand.
Oh no,
New
it'll be
Zealand.
New Zealand. It'll be
Yeah,
New
yeah,
Zealand,
yeah.
But I can't see any the Raiders matching it with the Knights with Ponga back.
No.
Hastings is going to be needled up. He'll be back as well. So
He's back,
the hooker Crossland's back. So
You know,
it's strong.
Yeah, you know what? I haven't seen Safidi string 2 games good for his life, and he's produced about 6 games at outstanding quality. Nicola, this pack's really moving on. Let me go to the other team, the Raiders. Is Rapana's in? Okay,
Yeah,
so
forward.
you know what? Points only come through Rapana. Unfortunately, Jack's in the centres, and I would have him at 5'8" because I want him to touch the ball as much as he can. I think he's lost in the centres, and he hasn't been playing too well anyway. Fogarty, I thought once upon a time was a good half. I just found out that he's not. I don't know. He hasn't.
No, he's all right.
Look, he's got a good kicking game, but look, I'd like to see. And I think that's why he's got Frawley next to him because he's an actual ball playing half. And this pack, I know Adi really likes.
They miss Papali'i, so
they do miss Papali'i, but
Tapine.
look, they're not playing.
Yeah, they're not playing.
Zach's not playing. Zach Wolford's not playing well. Young's looking like a Reggie. I'll put him in the Reggies if he was at the Storm. He'll be in the Reggies now. I'll tell you now.
Horsburgh suspended.
Horsburgh, well, good because that's a plus. That can only be a plus for the team, Nicola. Well, nice win, Nicola, and I think by the end of the game, they might win 13 plus, and I think we'll be talking about another Dominic. We'll see another Dominic Young outstanding try.
Yeah. What about that try he scored against St George? He looked like he was gone. He got like slammed down.
How he got it, I don't know.
That's amazing.
And he's 6'6" or something, 6'7".
From England, mate. First year, is it? Or second
No,
year?
it's third year.
Third year. Wow.
And I think we'll be talking about Kalen Ponga, another masterclass, personally.
Yeah.
That's it, isn't it?
Georgie, what do you got for us?
Tidbits. Nicola, we're following the plight of the world champions, as we know, Wigham, and guess what? We're
St.
following
Helens.
St. Helens. I apologise. And guess what, Nicola? They're in the winner's circle again. They beat Wakefield Trinity 32-16. And when you see a bit later, we see they're on the table. You'll be impressed. Hull FC 12. The only problem, Leeds scored 28, Nicola. Artie's team, Wakefield, Warrington, they've woken up, Nicola. They put 66 points against Castleford.
Dufty?
And let me tell you, Dufty scored this try. He beat all the team. He beat all the team. He ran into the line. A few of them missed. So he went left all the way across the field. He just pushing players off. It was just a comic of errors. Then he went back the other way. They're coming back. He's just pushing them off. I'm thinking, no. He's beating the plumbing refs. He's beating another one. That's 15. I'm thinking, he's just unbelievable. Seriously, he's a star there. Hull KR 26, Catalans 18. They've hit a rocky road. The team that I think is the best team in the competition, Wigan 26, Salford 8. And our team, Nicola, the Lead Leopards with the worst jersey in the world, 34. The Giants 16.
They're going all right, the Lead Leopards.
They're going all right. This game broke a record, Nicola. It's the longest running game in history.
What?
Yeah. They're playing, and these places are all small towns in the north of England. Wigan, Salford, Leeds, they're all small towns. The town had a power shortage, so the lights went out. They waited for an hour and the lights weren't going to go on again. So they agreed to come back 2 days after to play the last 20 minutes of the game. And it was full house again.
That's crazy.
It was full house again. So it's officially rated as the longest game in history.
Wow.
The main thing is that our team, the Lead Leopards, won, Nicola. And this is how the standings are at the moment in England. Wigan, Nicola, 34. This Catalans, 34. Okay. Lead Leopards. St. Helens, 34.
Wow.
How did that happen?
How does that happen? Yeah.
How did that happen? They will go like bastards at the start of the year. I'm telling you, they're going to win the comp. They're going to win the comp. I swear. Anyway, coming fourth, our team, Nicola, the team with the worst jersey in the world, 30. Coming fifth, Artie's team, Warrington, 26. And closing out the top six, Hull KR, 24.
How many rounds to go, George?
They've got 2 more rounds.
So Lead Leopards guaranteed fifth.
Yeah, no.
They can't go lower than fifth.
No, they're gonna be in the semis.
Go to Lead Leopards.
So the big talking point now in England is St. Helens are back.
Yeah.
The minute they got
When it matters.
Well, yeah,
Mbai.
They got Mbai. And all of a sudden, he changed the fortune of the whole team. I know it sounds funny, but it's true.
Good on him.
Completely different team now with Mbai.
That's awesome.
I still think that Wigan is the best team in the comp, but that doesn't mean they're going to win the comp.
There's the for and against much like between them, or is it tight there too?
It's tight as well.
Oh, really? So it's going to go down.
We'll put it up next week, and
wow, that's pretty cool.
We'll see how it is. The NRLW really heading up now, Nicola. As you know, the year has gone extended for the girls.
Yeah.
And before, when there was a short season, the games were pretty much across the board tight all through the season.
Yeah.
But now, as the years extend, and because there's more teams, of course, we've got more rookies.
Yeah.
Some of the games are blowing out, but they're still good quality. So the Raiders are 12, the Knights 20, Broncos 32. The Sharks 28.
Ooh, close.
Yeah, that was a good game. The Cowboys 16, and this is the highest score scored in the NRL NRLW up to now.
Yeah.
The Dragons 48.
Wow.
Nicola.
Wow.
Tegan Berry score mini?
Tegan Berry scored not many, but she scored.
Wow.
She scored.
Good on her.
Titans 16. Western Suburbs 4. Nicola. The Roosters on fire, Nicola, and the Premier team probably. They scored 48, just underneath the Dragons 40. Sorry, they scored 46, just underneath the Dragons 48. Unfortunately, our team, Nicola, the Eels, luckless once again.
Well, they're consistent.
They're 12 points.
Yeah.
But again, our halfback was missing.
They're consistent.
They're consistent.
They need Brad
consistently
Arthur in there to
bad.
get him into the top 4.
Yes, please.
Maybe Brad.
Yes.
Maybe Brad should drop.
Yes.
Maybe Brad should drop down. The table, Nicola, the Roosters flying high with 12 points. Second, the Knights with 12 points as well. The Titans third, a shock admission in the team, Nicola, with 10. The Broncos 8. The Raiders 8. And the Dragons just outside the semi-final with 6. But in saying that, there's 3 more rounds to go. And they're probably the big improvers.
Well, this week's the local derby. St George playing the Sharks.
So that's what I want to say. That this week is the first of all-time local derby in NRLW. It's a Thursday night as well. So we haven't got Thursday night footy.
Yeah.
We'll be watching.
Good.
So you'll be watching.
I'll be in the air, mate.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm on my way to Townsville.
Nicola's going for a scouting mission to Townsville
Oh, is he?
over the weekend.
Good. We need round the grounds guy.
We
can't
so
find one.
he's
Sachin's gone now.
He's looking for a round the grounds guy. He's looking for an Uber driver.
Oh, yeah.
As well. So
And I'm hoping to find them all at the local bar. That's where I'll be.
at the local bar. So we've got a local derby, the Sharks and the Dragons. The Sharks are a good team, but I'll tell you what, the Dragons, what I saw over the last week and how they're steadily improving.
Well, they beat the third last Tigers, mate. Or didn't? Who'd they beat? They didn't beat a strong team, did they?
No, they didn't beat a strong team, and they are coming low, but they're looking good. Trust me, because you know what, they lost a lot of players last year, and they brought a lot of depth on. So they're all basically a new team. So they've put it together. You know what I mean? It's a short season too. Yeah.
Yeah, it is. True.
And then Nicola, the game of the year on Sunday, the Knights are playing the Roosters. Top of the table clash.
Yeah.
A must watch. I think it's going to be before the main game as well.
Oh well.
So it'll be full house there at Marathon. So I can't wait for that one. Our florist
Cornelius
from Rose Bay. He's Rose of the Week, Nicola. I've got to do it. I've got to give it to Racing McGregor. She's controlling this St George team like a violin, and it took her a while to hook in, but she's hooked in now, and she's looking the goods, and that's why. That's the biggest reason I think she'll beat the Sharks, because not only her passing game, but her kicking game is outstanding. So
any relation to Mary McGregor?
No. Not to Mary McGregor at all. The much awaited weekly segment, Nicola, the player.
Who is it this week?
I hope you can remember him, because he's one of my favourite players. He had a short stint in the NRL, Nicola, but he made a big impact.
Ewan McGrady?
How'd you know?
Well, I'm just thinking, he played for the Bulldogs. He had a 5-minute stint and he killed it.
I thought you were going to say Ryan Tandy or something.
Right,
that's
I'm
shocked. Guess. And the one
did you see my notes?
No.
Ewan McGrady.
I know he's one of your favourites.
One of my favourites,
based off what you
He's
just
great.
said.
Yeah.
Short stint in the NRL. He just jumps out to me because I remember the story about. I think he won the Daily M and he wasn't
we'll talk
there.
about that.
They sent a. Sorry, I don't want to.
No.
go.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah.
You remember him?
Yes, absolutely.
I wasn't sure if you
Early
remember
90s,
him.
wasn't it?
Very early 90s, yes. Early 90s. He was born in Moree. He was a Moree boy. Nicola, in 1988, the Great Britain Lions came out touring here, and they played Northern Divisions, just for a loose night, as they used to do. And Ewan played in that game. He scored 2 tries, absolutely ripped them apart, and Northern Districts won 136-12. So you know what the Bullfrog done? He jumped into a car and started heading to Moree. Honestly, that's what happened. He started heading to Moree to sign him. He said to his wife, "There's no way I'm coming home without the signature."
This guy came on the scene out of nowhere.
Nowhere.
Yeah.
Nowhere. So what they done? The Bullfrogs. The they brought him to Canterbury, Nicola, and they put him in the Reggies, and he just ripped up the Reggies. So they had to put him in first grade. His debut game was against the Roosters, Nicola, and he ripped them apart from day one. Then 91, he was regarded as the best player in the game, winning back then the Rothmans medal, which now is the Dally M.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, only one problem, Nicola. He didn't turn up to.
I remember that they had to send the car to get him or something on the
Well,
night.
if you remember, Jonathan Davis was.
And I don't think he had a suit.
The Englishman.
Yeah, Jonathan Davis, the Englishman. He was in that team, and he was sort of the only one who had really connected. He was sort of an outsider.
Yeah.
So the Bullfrog got a police car, put Jonathan Davis in, okay, and zipped off to get him. So the whole Dally M's or Rothman's medal back then had to wait an hour and a half before they got him there. So they're all waiting with anticipation. When he came into the room, Nicola, it was the shortest acceptance speech of all time. It was timed at 8 seconds. It was timed at 8 seconds.
When you said one of my favourites, a very short stint in NRL, his name just popped into my head.
It's good.
You know, it was one of my favourites.
One of the best short stint players in the world.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
no one had a
He
better
killed it.
short stint than
Yeah.
him.
Well, not the year after that, he was the leading try scorer, and he was named the Rugby League Player of the Year, the Rugby League Week Player of the Year, the magazine Player of the Year.
Yep.
After that season, Nicola, he went to the Bullfrog and he just goes, "I want to go home."
Yeah.
After
He was that kind of player.
I want to go home.
Yeah.
So he came down that year where they played against the the Great Britain played Northern Districts. They've put him in reserve grade, ripped up reserve grade apparently. And he was a youngster, he's not old. Okay, the other year they graded him. He got the Rothmans medal that year. Okay. So he played the other year. Got the players player, and I remember ripping him up.
Yeah.
And when the season finished, he goes, "I want to go home."
That's amazing.
Talk
Bullfrog-
about natural
The
talent.
Bullfrog says, "Okay, if you want to go home, you want to go home."
Imagine if he had a goal, like if he was focused on how good he could have been.
Exactly, yeah.
I'll just finish.
That's amazing.
I'll just finish off, and I'll tell you some more.
So he had 2
experiences.
seasons, full
2
seasons. That's
Yeah.
it. Wow.
What he did have, he went home. And Langmack, whatever, was coaching West, and
Didn't he go to West?
Yeah, he went to West, and he went to West mid-year the other year, and he played 4 games, and he goes, "No, I still want to be home."
Yeah.
He didn't want to play. He played
I
4 games.
remember
He
that.
said he'll come up, and if he likes it, he'll stay.
He
Whatever.
left.
Okay, he played 4 games, and he went to the coach then. which I think was
Paul
Langmack.
Langmack. Yeah.
And he goes, "No, I want to be home."
Was Terry
He's
Hill in that
left.
West team?
I'm not sure actually.
I think he
93.
might have been.
Maybe. So he went back and he played until he was in his mid-40s in his local club team.
Wow.
Seriously, he played 100. He played. He couldn't have done that.
Wow.
Where'd you get the stats from, Abdo?
Maybe it's a typo.
Yeah, he must be. He obviously played for West. He played for New South Wales Country.
Maybe
and
36
Bulldogs.
games, right?
Maybe 36
Yeah.
games. Yeah, wasn't 136 games. What's that? That's 4 seasons. Isn't
Yeah,
it?
that's
Wow,
a lot
wasn't
of
no way in the world.
seasons. That's a lot of seasons.
I remember going to Belmore Sports Ground, Nicola. When you look at the grandstand back in the day, on the right hand side, you've gone many a times.
Yeah.
There was a concrete little hill.
Yeah.
I would stand on that, and I remember he was playing halfback, and next to him was Bar. Every time he touched the ball, the hairs on my back just stood up. 60 games, yeah.
136 points.
160, that's
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
136 points, 60 games. The hairs on my back would stand up thinking he's going to do something. And you know what? 9 times out of 10, something would happen around him.
Wow.
He was just electric.
That's a player, huh?
His pace off the mark, something like Slippery Morris.
Yeah, that's how I felt with
Morris,
him. Yeah.
He take him out of the team. I'll tell you now, we made the semi-final both years.
Yeah.
It was on his back. Make no mistake. It was on
No,
his
I
back.
remember.
Don't you think Ben Barber did a similar thing? He was
Yes.
sort of
Yeah.
electric
Yes.
every time he got the ball.
Yes. Well, when Cronulla won the comp, don't forget Ben Barber was the
Yeah,
fullback.
he was there, yeah.
So he was electric as well. But Ewan, I'll never forget, Ewan made me go to Belmore Sports Ground weekly. Ewan McGrady put a smile on my face leaving the ground. Ewan McGrady put a smile on my face Monday mornings. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Ewan McGrady made me think during the week about his tries. So,
Special player.
yes.
Special player.
a guy, like I said, limited time in the NRL, but a lot of memories.
Left a
of-
mark, that's for sure,
a lot
for
of
that short
memories.
time.
Yeah, I took a guess, man. Sorry, I didn't mean to steal your thunder.
No,
It
that's
just-
good.
It
You
popped
know,
into my head.
You know that I
I know,
liked him.
yeah, exactly.
And many a times with Nicola Ari, that little hill which was a concrete hill, I remember. We would go stand up there back in those days, and not only Ewan McGrady, but
And next year, I want to go to Belmore to watch a game because I haven't been there in well over 20 years.
okay, but it's usually 40 degrees when they play. Yeah,
Yeah.
But
And it
we'll
gets sold
go.
out pretty quickly.
It gets sold out pretty
Yeah.
quick. But we'll go. No, we'll go. It's fun. It's a great atmosphere. So that was any suggestions for any players, any favourites? We done Artie with
Yeah, I'd like
Slippery.
to see Tolson Tollett or Keith Blackett.
Do you want?
No, I'm
really?
joking. No,
Well, Ben Custo.
I'm joking. Ben Custer. I know his wife,
Custer.
Yvette.
No, not Ben Custo. No.
Okay,
I
I'll
know
pick
his
another
wife,
one.
Yvette, actually. Hi, Yvette, if you're listening.
Okay, I'll pick a.
There's
I'll
one
pick
guy
one.
I wouldn't mind you doing, mate.
What's that?
There was a guy that played at, I think, Balmain, Scott Gale.
Yeah.
I loved him. He was a great
Okay,
player.
Chip and Chase.
Yeah, Scotty Gale.
Scott
There
Gale?
you go.
Done.
I'll think of someone too for the week after.
Can we think of something else as well? Father and sons.
Yeah.
That have played in the
Yeah.
same.
So
Well, the Morris-
obviously the Morris
The
boys.
Morris boys, yeah.
How about we talk about that next week? How
Yeah.
about I suggest something about that too? Yeah.
Cool.
Currently, we've got Zach Hosking and his dad played. Wasn't
There's
he?
quite a few.
His dad was Hosking as
Really?
well.
Nathan Cleary.
Oh, the Hoskin, the
Yeah,
mule.
yeah, the mule.
Nathan
I think
Cleary.
his son's playing now
Oh.
at Penrith.
The,
Oh,
yeah.
the
Nathan Cleary.
Cleary.
yeah,
Cleary's,
yeah, for sure.
Yeah. We'll have a, yeah.
And for the last one for me, the song of the week, Nicola, I couldn't pick. So I know that these two songs or two bands are some of Artie's favourites, and
Yeah.
I know one of them he's seen recently, and I'm going to leave it up to Artie to pick. 1983, Artie. We were young, and there was a British invasion music coming from England,
Yeah.
and there was three young women. One, I think, two had blonde hair, and one had dark hair.
Yeah.
The band was called Bananarama.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know,
Awesome.
and the song is
Cool summer.
"Cruel Summer." Yeah, "Cruel
It
Summer."
is a cruel summer for you because there's no rugby league. and
No
it's sort
rugby
of-
league.
yeah,
I hate
it's
it.
cruel. It's a
I hate
cruel-
it. I hate it. So that's song number one, and number two song, Artie, 81. A young woman, I think from England again, and she came blonde, beautiful young woman, blonde hair.
Kim Wilde.
And she actually broke Deborah Harry's heart because everybody was blondie. She came on the scene, and it was Kim Wilde.
Yeah.
And of course the
Keep Me Hanging On.
"Keep Me Hanging On."
Oh, wow. Okay.
The song is "Keep Me Hanging On."
She was
so-
fantastic. I love
And
her.
I know I think you've seen both recently.
Yeah. Oh, no, I've seen
I
Kim
saw
Wilde.
Banana-
I haven't seen Banana.
I saw Bananarama recently. You saw Kim Wilde recently. Your choice. Which song would you prefer?
Oh, both crackers, mate. What was the song? Keep Me Hanging On.
Yeah,
Keep me hanging
Yeah,
on.
you got to put that one on. Yeah, you got to put that one on.
Done.
Yeah, for sure.
Keep me wild. I'll have a choice for you next week,
There
Nicola.
you go.
Yeah, no worries.
I'll
I'm
have a
looking
choice for
forward to
you.
it.
It's going to be harder for Nicola because he likes everything. He likes rock, he likes pop, he likes.
Looking forward
You know
to
what I
it.
mean? I'll pick two rock songs you like, and that's me, Nicola.
We'll pick an
Standard
NWA
procedure.
song. We'll really get
NWA
banned by
song.
NRL.
NWA song.
That's it. That wraps us up.
Well done.
That wraps
We're
us
done.
up.
Enjoy this weekend. This weekend's going to be
Yeah.
a cracker. We've got 4 smashing games.
Absolutely awesome
Special
games.
games.
So
Yeah.
really watch the game, the
Really
football.
looking forward to them. Thanks for another great night, boys. Have a great week.
Happy Rugby League, everyone.
Listeners, happy Rugby League. And this time next week, we're going to be losing another couple of teams. So
Yep.
look forward to it. Have a great week and enjoy the semis.
Happy
Good night.
week, everybody, and Nicola, good scouting.
Scouting.
Yeah, when you go to North Queensland.
Oh, of course. Yes,
Good
that's what I'll be doing. Good night.
Bye, everybody.
Good night. Go Dragons. What? They're not even on.